Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Well, Gary Crochet rebounded from his worst start of the season by throwing the Athletics under a bus last night in Sacramento. He pitched 7 shutout innings, allowed 3 hits, and struck out 10 in a 7-0 Red Sox win. Trevor Story and Carlos Narvaez added homers. The Sox moved to within 1 game of the Yankees for the top wild card spot in the American League. They'll visit the Athletics again tonight. As for the Patriots, the players have a day off today. They'll practice tomorrow. The team is 0-1 after a loss to Las Vegas on Sunday. And after a sack and an interception in that game, safety Jalen Hawkins will visit Miami in his first road contest of the season this coming weekend.
Today we got cleaned up. Today tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Look in the mirror day. Clean that up first and foremost before we move on. And then as soon as we're done with the tape, man, flush it. You know what I'm saying? And go on a divisional opponent and hone in on the details and take advantage and try to come out with a win for sure.
Last night, Minnesota scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter for a 27-24 win in Chicago. Bears CEO Kevin Warren told fans in a letter yesterday the franchise intends to build a new stadium in suburban Arlington Heights. They're hoping to host a Super Bowl in 2031. San Francisco tight end George Kittle is out 3 to 5 weeks with a hamstring injury, and Brock Purdy is now questionable for the weekend for the Niners with a toe injury. That means Mac Jones would start if Purdy is unable to go. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Boston Talk Sports.
Trade break May.
We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
They love the show. In fact, they said, Fred, you're the best.
and Hardy
Who's Taylor the originator?
on 98.5.
Hello.
Hey there.
Aloha.
Bonjour.
How are we doing?
What? I'm an animal.
Can we use this for the radio? No, Nick, with your drinking at noon on Monday.
Well, I tell her the truth, I miss booty.
That problem is too large for the Sarge.
You know how I feel about clowns on morning shows?
I'm just saying, hello.
Toucher and Hardy.
Watch Daddy and Uncle Freddie.
Knocking back
25 glasses of soda.
Having some fun.
On 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
It'd be my baseball.
No.
No.
Yes, there is Amos. There you go. So very exciting. Andrew Callahan will be in for an hour today at 8 o'clock. More of Nicholas at the Patriots game. Lots of great things coming up today. I often, would awful announcing. I would talk about when they wrote about something that I said. It was always something that was to drum up controversy. I said if I ever get shot, you can directly blame awful announcing, and because I mean
Controversy.
They tend to cherry pick things that are negative and bring them to in feign like that they're somehow morally superior and that they're upset about the thing, but really what they're doing is they're exposing this thing that's supposedly so upsetting to way more people nationally than would. I'm not saying like a million people read awful announcing. I'm just saying that I shouldn't even say a million more people. Just they bring it to people in markets that wouldn't have heard it, and they do it and then they kind of like it's this feigning of that they're the good guy, but they're really just that's for a living, just cherry picking like bad stuff or seemingly bad things that they feel are inappropriate and going, see. And then what will ultimately happen is most death threats that I get are from things that have been an awful announcing or something that's like been picked up by something like that. And it's always like kind of like stuff that isn't that big a deal, but it's written in a way to rile up people that want to be riled up. But they did have a interesting article about Aaron Rodgers and his need to be a victim. And it is something that is happening, and it's been happening for a long time. Me doing it just there. But they do have a thing about Aaron Rodgers wanting to be a victim, and that is something that's interesting because you would associate it almost exclusively with like super progressives that were, even acting like victims when it was some party that they were not a part of being insulted. But it has become almost, it's almost like a universal thing now, is that because Aaron Rodgers certainly no progressive, but this, he's victimized by the Jets. He's victimized by everyone. And they made a good point, is that the Jets got Nathaniel Hackett and made him the offensive coordinator. They got Alan Lazard. They got Randall Cobb. They got Tim Boyle. They got they did everything he wanted them to do.
Devontae Adams traded for Devontae Adams.
They fired Robert Well, he said he didn't want that, but I don't know about that.
Who knows what he wanted and what he didn't want?
But the thing is that they did everything that he wanted to do, and then they didn't keep him. And the reasons they didn't keep him are obvious, is that they couldn't install a new coach and go, oh, by the way, you're beholden to Aaron Rodgers. Like, Aaron Rodgers gets whatever he wants. Aaron Rodgers has a platform whenever he wants to say whatever he wants unchallenged. If anyone was not a victim, it's Aaron Rodgers.
It's interesting. The more you think about it, remember he skipped mandatory minicamp because he was on vacation?
Yeah.
Right?
Egypt,
right. And for Pittsburgh, I'm thinking, the tea leaves are there. He basically knew he was going to sign with Pittsburgh in March, but they allowed him to sign at the very last minute so that he would skip all the summer stuff and just show up for training camp.
Right. So
he's been catered to ever since he left Green Bay.
And I get that if he wanted to play for the Jets and for whatever reason and came back and Glenn told him to go screw, that he would be upset at the Jets. But you're not like a victim. And there's a lot of that now. And it's especially with people that attach their carts politically before this election cycle, that now, because at first they were victims of it's worse in such a dumb place, and it's got to be social media, is that progressives acted like that they were victims of things that were and that everyone should be fired for the language that they used or everything that was said. And then the people that were supposedly saying these things were saying, I'm a victim of being, attacked by the progressives, which is at that point was sort of true. I mean, the guy from the Chappelle show, I forget his name, made some joke on the radio about Nickelback, and it was like a Jewish joke, and it was just something he said under his breath, and he was fired. It got pretty out of hand. You were getting in trouble in ruining your career and your life, and people wanting to kill you because of it's and sometimes not even jokes, but just opinion that wasn't even just, you had to have a certain way of thinking and not even a dangerous, oppressive way of thinking, just a turn of phrase or even just straight just ignorance, and not ignorance and just in a way that was you didn't know, right? Because things are so rapidly changing. But now you get the Whitlocks and the Rogans. Rogans is a big guy now that is now he's the victim because he is, he is just a man asking the questions. But then you take $300 million from Spotify and start having presidential candidates on and FBI guys on and let them say whatever they want. without pushing back. And I'll give the FBI guy says, we don't have the Epstein tapes. Said it on Rogan. We don't have the Epstein tapes. Don't you think if I had them that I would tell you? Don't you think I would tell you? But they do have them. Like they do. So but now it's like now everyone is this incredible victim. It's really something else.
Joe Rogan is worth $250 million. Big victim, Joe Rogan.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the
big
thing
victim.
and then like you're not like an outsider. You're not an outsider. You have all that money. You are beholden to a corporation. You're paid by Spotify, which I'm getting rid of. I'm getting rid of Spotify.
Good.
Well, I'm
more
getting
and more
Apple
artists
Music.
Are pulling their music from.
Well, I'm getting Apple Music, which I'm not. Now that you said to get rid of it, now I might keep it.
How dare you?
Just to show you. But because I don't like that they threw all that money at, because there's no way they're making the money back. So it angers me. So there you go. We're in a cycle of victimization that is from all sides now, including myself, who's been victimized by awful announcing. But I did think that they wrote a good article about Aaron Rodgers, about how how they did everything you wanted him to do for 2 years. I get you're pissed that they didn't want you anymore. I don't know why you wanted to go back there. You had no success there. I don't know why it's so bad that you're with Pittsburgh. They're seemingly a better team. You beat the Jets in week 1. But it's not enough of like, yeah, they fired me. I wanted to get them. It's like I was mistreated. They didn't treat me right. Well, they did everything you wanted them to do and more. They did too much. They did it to
detriment of the
of the team.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, if anything, he's a victim of people speaking badly about him, mostly because he's unlikable. Now, that doesn't make you a victim, but if he's got any claim, like any validity to any of these claims, it's like, yeah, a lot of people talk crap about you, but it's 100% based on you're just an unlikable person.
Stuff you've said.
The things you say and the things you do make it hard for you to ingratiate yourself to just a 10-second soundbite audience. So
you don't get to do both. You don't get to plant the bomb in the room and then go and scream, "Look, there's a bomb over there."
Well, it doesn't make you a victim. I'm just trying to like validate his feelings. Does he feel attacked in some way? Yeah. Well, why are people attacking Aaron Rodgers? Because people don't like him.
There's a difference between saying not being liked and being victimized. Now, being victimized would be like, I don't have an outlet. I'll tell you who's a victim is Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick was good enough to play in the NFL. He did something controversial, and he can't play in the NFL. There was a real cause and effect. Now, is that a victim in a way that it was undeserved? Well, I mean, I think so, but that's debatable. Like, there's plenty of people that my parents are friends with that think it's the worst thing that ever happened. So, but there was a cause and effect. With Rodgers, there's never been a cause and effect. He has a platform whenever he wants it to say whatever he wants for whatever length of time he wants. Pat McAfee would just let him on, and that's why Pat McAfee made all his money, is you could just have Aaron Rodgers on, and he would sit back and talk in that like know-it-all tone and literally say, I took a course in college about something, and now I'm an expert. And he would and then the Jets did everything he wanted, and he made a lot of money, and he didn't win. So I don't understand like there's no. I was oppressed, and this was all done to me. You're not being oppressed. You're getting. There's almost been no one less oppressed in NFL history than you. You've pretty much had carte blanche to do whatever you want. I know you were upset that they didn't play you in Green Bay sooner, but I mean, you were, what was he, 24 when he first played? 25?
Playing behind a Hall of Famer.
Right, exactly. I guess it's because then I saw a thing is that it was Joe Rogan and the guy from Mad TV. And then the MMA fighter, the ex-MMA fighter turned terrible comedian, he had them on. This was a clip that I saw recently, and they're smoking cigars, so you know it's all business, which now drives me insane. And I have friends who smoke cigars, but it really, like, smoking a cigar with your friends is fine. Smoking cigars while you're on broadcasting is just such like a. It's such a try hard. Thank you. It's just such an affectation. Like, just the boys smoking some cigars. Like, ugh. You can smoke here. Like, okay. Oh, maybe it's just me, but it's just such an obvious, like there are no rules. We're just boys smoking cigars. And the guy from Mad TV, and I'm not being cute, I don't know his name. He was on the Goldbergs. He and Joe, of course, are talking about vaccinations. Now, what I know about vaccinations could fill a matchbook. My kids are vaccinated. I am vaccinated. But the guy from Mad TV, this is entertainment now. The guy from Mad TV was challenging Joe Rogan. They were on. I saw 2 minutes of it on vaccinations, and Joe was saying, "I don't want to get this going. You don't know what you're talking about. You're pissing me off. I've read the scientific research." And oh, have you? I would he's read all of it. He's read all of it. He's read everything. And then the guy from Mad TV was going, "You're not a doctor." And then the guy who is a objectively terrible stand-up comedian, Matt Schaub or whatever. Matt Schaub?
That's a former quarterback.
Yeah, I know. It's something Brendan Schwab. Anyway, he's an objectively, you can go look. He's an objectively a terrible, terrible comedian. He's a failed comedian. He went from MMA to comedian, but he's one of these guys that fillets Rogan professionally, and then he gets to get on. And Rogan goes, I've read the research. So I know. So it's one thing if you're Rogan to have like someone on in they're like, I'm a vaccine expert, and they say controversial things. That's okay. So you just had him on and they said these controversial things, seemingly that they're an expert. But this notion that he has poured through in his free time, all this scientific literature, all these reports. So what I would like someone to do is to go in there and go, I have 3 scientific reports on various subjects. They're all here. Pick which one you want to do. You can do any one of them. And you know, we have vaccines. We have, the Ebola virus. We have like all 3 things. I will give you an hour or 2 hours to read them. And then I want you to come back and just tell me what was in the scientific research. I want you to go through like a real peer-reviewed scientific thing, not something on the internet, but like something that with studies and the results of all the trial and in the different groups,
and not something that you sought out that is going to be some kind of confirmation bias, not necessarily on a subject that you're even interested in. Just read the scholarly material and then explain it to me.
Exactly. And you can pick any which one of these. You can pick 3. I brought 3 in.
And that will either validate or invalidate you saying, well, I've read all the research. Well, show me that you can, read documents like this and understand them.
Yes, that's all. That would be a wonderful thing to do, like a binder, and go like, okay, go read it, and then have him. Well, there's not enough time. Well, how much time do you need?
Yeah.
Well, but because you can't like go for like 3 days and like go like
and you need to go in a room by yourself,
right? Like a test, like the SAT, like and it's all, and you can have it in front of you while we talk about it. But I want you to go and I want you to digest it. Come back in the room. You can have it in front of you, and because I'm an expert on these 3 matters, and I want you not to give me an opinion or to analyze the research. I just want you to tell me what's in there. Go in a room alone and then come out and tell me what's in there. And tell me how they did the controlled subjects and everything else, and just tell me what happened. Tell me, and then I would have a list of words. I go, tell me what this word means. Tell me what this word means. Tell me what this word means. And he wouldn't be able to do it. And the guy's going, you're not a scientist. And he goes like, oh, because that's the big thing is that like.
That's the other thing with Rogan, who, unlike you, Fred, I did like his stand-up like in the late 90s.
Yeah.
I thought he had some really funny bits. And I thought he was interesting to talk to. The one time,
he was interesting to talk to.
I did a long form interview with him, but his whole thing was predicated on I'm dumb. I don't know anything. And it was somewhat self-deprecating, but I kind of believed him when he said, "Look, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm dumb." But it is quite the heel turn for him to now put himself up as one of the experts in this thing because, as you said, he's done the research. Like, what happened to the dumb guy? What happened to that guy who just kind of like almost wore it as a badge of honor that he was dumb, but he was funny and he was quick-witted. Right. And by the way, that's enough. That's enough for some people.
Well, that's how he built his career. It's really well said because that's the way he built his career. Because he, back in the day, was like a seeker, which is different than being a armchair expert. Like he did, DMT. He like would sit in these sensory deprivation, chambers. He was, there was a lot of like seeking. It almost was like more spiritual seeking in a way. And that's all unquantifiable and sort of honorable. And you're right, Hardy. And I think that's even how the podcast started from him talking about the Joey Diaz. But when he started having guests on like a wide range of subjects, it was sort of novel because he was having these esoteric guests on and like Jonathan Haidt or something. And they would talk about stuff and he would be like, oh, like, it was just kind of like these guys that were scholars and it's weird that it took off the way that it did, but that was the basis of it, is that I'm going to have these guys on and these like academics on, and they're going to kind of like tell me what's going on. They've written books, like real books that were published by publishers, not, the guy Bobby Blotzer put his book out with and Kinko's, and he would sit there and kind of just be like, okay, but the heel turn is right. Now I'm the establishment. Now I'm the guy. And then you know what he said in that thing? He goes, but my kids are vaccinated. But the government is rushing to speed up the vaccinations, which very much may be true, but you're countering your own argument. So that's what he does too. Is he's like, you don't know what you're talking about with vaccinations. My kids are vaccinated though. Okay, well then what's your point? Or I heard him recently, because these things all come up on my algorithm. I'm not a Trump supporter. Well, you got to help get him elected. What do you mean you're not a Trump supporter? You got to help get him elected.
Yeah, just because you don't wear a T-shirt doesn't mean you are very much supporting the efforts.
Didn't he endorse him? Like I did it. I'm under the impression that he had him on and essentially endorsed him.
Well,
so
he did have him on. Maybe that's an endorsement unto itself.
Well, but I mean, he is being used by people because he is a quasi large audience, which I still don't believe. But I don't know. I just don't think that you can make a career doing something and then turn around and say you didn't do it. And also I challenge that just because you have to have a certain, I at no point in my life could I have gone and gotten a doctorate in science. There's just not a way I would have had that sort of intelligence. Not that I'm like dumb, but there's different sorts of intelligence. There's no way I could have gotten a biological degree. There's no way I could have ascertained that information or had the patience to do so. I couldn't do it. Now, could a scientist come on and do this dumb radio show? Probably not. Is it as important? No. But it's a hard gig to get and it's well paying. So There's different kinds of things for different kinds of people, but I don't sit here and pretend I know. That's the thing. It's not even what he says. It's just that pseudo-intellectualism. I read the research. Joe, did you? Get out of here with you read the research. All right. Very good. Well, that had nothing to do with anything. It was just bothering me from yesterday. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hi, everybody. We are Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night is brought to you by this cool piano lick and by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates. Here's where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti, who's very handsome, at 1-800-GET-HAIR.
He really is.
Perennially tan.
Makes it, Dr. Leonard Perennial, always tan. Dr. Lepresti, he's just one of those handsome types that make you think about things. If you're just, a heterosexual man, never had any questions about, your sexuality and your proclivities, meet Dr. Lepresti. It makes you think about things. Like,
See, I'm of the camp that you can judge male beauty without sexualizing it.
Oh, no, everything with me is sex.
No, I know that. You're very virile. It's almost intimidating. That's why I've been taking testosterone.
Do you remember, did you ever listen to G. Gordon Liddy on the radio?
No, but I know who he is.
Can't wait to find out where this goes.
Oh, because he used to do this thing. His whole thing was like reinforcing like how tough he was. And people would call and say, G. Gordon, great to speak with you, Mr. Liddy. How you feeling? Virile, vigorous, and potent. And that was his catchphrase. Mm-hmm. Oh, God, it was the worst. I remember some dude calling up and it's like, I'm trying to get stronger, but I'm trying to learn how to do it. Here's what you must do to be virile, vigorous, and potent. You must do push-ups with your feet raised off the ground. I want you to do it now. And this guy, while he's on the phone on a national call-in talk show, like put his feet up on a chair and started doing push-ups as G. Gordon Liddy coached him through it. I remember driving around listening to him like, this man is a lunatic. He's absolutely tapped, and he was on for years.
Now, how did you hear him? Was he syndicated?
Oh, yeah. I mean, from an early age. When I was like 16, 17 years old, I loved radio so much, and I would listen to anything. And I listened to AM talk radio. Bruce Allen or Bruce Williams, TalkNet. Bruce Williams did a show that was just about everything. It was about finance. It was about relationships. Welcome to my world. Welcome here. This is TalkNet. And I would listen to him. I'd listen to G. Gordon Liddy, listen to Rush Limbaugh, like in the early days, just for the talking, man, just for the guys who could do it. And Rush was really good in the beginning. I mean, he was entertaining.
Well, he obviously is one of the most successful radio guys of all time.
Yeah, it got a little weird when he got all hopped up on the hillbilly heroin and lost his hearing for a while. And
listen.
Just couldn't really put a sentence together anymore. That got weird.
That was a problem.
Doctor shop, I mean, that's not buying it off drug dealers. I mean, you're just supporting the pharmaceutical industry at that point.
Yeah.
Because I would listen to, when I did mornings, Saturday mornings in Cumming, Georgia, it was like an hour and a half drive. And they had the Motley Fool. These are the dumbest shows that I listened to. They had the Motley Fool, which was the two guys that are finance guys, but I could never understand if it was a commercial or not. I heard that car show with the car guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Cliff and Claff. Those
Click
guys?
and Clack. No,
Click
they
and
were
Clack.
local.
Sorry, they were here in Boston.
Yeah, I think they still have a garage, or maybe the garage closed.
Click and
one
Clack.
of the brothers died.
No, but that's not the name Click and Clack of the show.
The Tappet
though.
brothers. Yeah, there was Tom and.
But it was called something. It was called
Car Talk.
Car Talk. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
It was
that was it. They were in Cambridge.
Yeah, they were based locally.
Oh.
Right here.
Tom and Ray Megliozzi, the hosts of Car Talk.
Now, I don't know anything about cars or care.
No, but it was
on.
You would just take, my radiator, I think I have a hole in it. Well, here's what you do. You go here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah,
How do I change well, it was wild. I listened to it, too.
So I would do that, and then I would go into the radio station, and then we would have Master Gardener Daryl pulled us into the station. She did a gardening show that I would run the board and produce. And then we had Southern Fishing with Ken Sturdivant, who would talk about fishing for crappie, literally just crappie, in Lake Lanier for an hour every week about the crappie fishing. That's what he would do. He would come in. And then on Sundays, I didn't have to do this often, but on Sundays they would have religious programming, and sometimes the like Baptist preachers would come in and they would bring someone in to testify. I've told you this before. And it would be some like multiple felon with like violent crime history, and they'd have a gun on them, and they would be a lunatic. And so it wasn't so much even the preacher who was a lunatic too, but they would bring a full on convicted lunatic with them. And of course they'd both be wearing a firearm, and where you could see it. That was the whole point. And it would be like Sunday morning, and I'd be all hungover at like 7 o'clock in the morning with a lunatic with a handgun, like traipsing around. Now there was glass between me and them. They were smart enough to put him on the glass. No, they would put him behind this like little glass, and then sometimes we would have to broadcast like a church, in whatever rudimentary technology was required, because it wasn't like an ISDN line. What was that called when it was like a radio line? It was almost like a CB, and it was attached to like another place, and it was transmitted over a radio signal to the radio station and then broadcast from.
Is that Marty? I'm trying to remember.
Marty, maybe?
I think it was a Marty.
Maybe like a Marty line. Like
I remember those.
Like they had like a box that was like an antenna on it.
Yes, exactly right. Yes, it's called a Marty unit.
And it sounded like real garbage. Like it sounded terrible.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a podcast.
That was like late 80s, early 90s stuff. I remember that.
Well, this was late 90s. And but it was Cumming, Georgia. There were
sure.
I mean, there wasn't.
Sure. This is to get out of paying for an actual line. You did this.
And so what I would do is when that was happening, or we were doing NASCAR qualifying, not NASCAR races, which we did not play. We did not have the license to do so, but we did play NASCAR qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
My big thing was there was a computer down the hall. This was how old I am now, and I would go and see how long I could use the computer without any dead air, and I would always fail. So there would be dead air, but it would just be how much dead air. So I would get on the computer. I can't even remember really what the game was, but I know I couldn't hear the station in the room, so I would go in there, and the game was I could see how close to it being off the air it was before I got back into the room. We played American Acoustic Country, which was on CD. And then it was formatted into breaks that you would play on CD, and then you would play your
That's a good show.
You play your breaks. That was bluegrass music, which is horrible.
I just looked up to see one of the Tappet brothers, Click and Clack. One of them died in 2014. You remember they would do the Puzzler each week?
No, but okay.
Okay, and every week it was kind of like this running gag that one of the brothers like, I can't remember what was the puzzler, and they'll like say it all over again. So this is the obituary from their website. Tom Magliozzi, along with his brother Ray, hosted NPR's hit comedy show for the last 37 years, died Monday from complications of Alzheimer's disease. Quote, turns out he wasn't kidding, said his brother Ray. He really couldn't remember last week's puzzler.
That's actually, I like that obituary. That's how I would want my obituary to be. That's a good line. Yeah, like what you don't.
First line of the obit.
That's great. That's good. I like that. Good for them. I was unaware it was a comedy show, but good. That's the funniest thing.
It was fun. That show was funny as hell.
I don't remember anything about it.
Oh, God, I loved it.
I don't remember anything about it.
The car thing was secondary.
It really was.
It was just a vehicle to do the other stuff.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it? Vehicle to do the other stuff?
No. What? Explain. All right. Well, that was that.
I thought he was going to make you explain. All right. So you want to get to what?
No.
You want to get to what happened last night next?
Yeah, next.
Yeah, wait, we got one football game, one baseball game.
I thought you said what the after there for a second. I was going to go hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hardy's spotting off at the mouth. All right, yeah, there was a football game last night. Very exciting ending. I don't feel as bad being a Jet fan now because there was a worse loss. 2 worse losses. But the Baltimore loss and this loss were worse losses. So I enjoy that. Other people suffering greater than me, which I enjoy. All right, so we will have that for you in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox won in Sacramento last night 7-0. Garrett Crochet, the story, 7 shutout innings. He allowed just 3 hits and struck out 10. Red Sox now a game behind the Yankees for first place in the American League wild card race. They pitch Dustin May against the Athletics tonight. Patriots visit Miami this Sunday. Team will be back at practice tomorrow. And J.J. McCarthy had 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown run in the fourth quarter. Minnesota rallied for a 27-24 Monday night win in Chicago. Sports Hub headlines are presented by Celsius Energy Drinks. Refresh your energy with 0 sugar, essential vitamins, and proven ingredients. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the... and sports. And it is all we do. 98.5, the Sports Hub. Hey, if your alarm clock sounds like this is the show for you. Toucher and
Heidi doll.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was talking about the Alabama receiver, but really his example one was Caleb Williams because he was soft. And what did they ever win when he was in college? Well, last night, Caleb Williams on that first drive with new head coach Ben Johnson set out to prove Jason Whitlock wrong.
Snap back, pressure, pick it up by Tooney, rolling left. Williams got Greengrass, 10-5, dive for the end zone. Throw him up, will you, baby? Touchdown! Touchdown Bears! 80-yard touchdown scramble.
So, once again, opening drive. Unfortunately for Chicago, that would be the last time the offense got into the end zone for quite a while last night. They would take a 10-6 lead into the locker room at halftime. On the other side of the game, you've got Fred's whoopee, J.J. McCarthy. Oh, does he love him some J.J. McCarthy?
I sold the card.
Oh, God. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
sold the
$5,000.
card. So I was short selling it. I was speculating that he wouldn't be very good.
He didn't look very good in the first half last night, but Minnesota came out in the second half and woof.
Wants the snap, gets it.
Oh, hold on a second. That's something different. Hold on a second here. We're going to do this.
Shotgun snap, McCarthy. They rush four. Line drive down the middle. Caught in the end zone by Jefferson. Oh, he threads the low line drive pass to the all-pro receiver. 3 yards deep down the middle in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings.
Now, for the second time in as many nights, we have a team who is down double digits in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. It's a witching hour.
Minnesota out of this game. Done.
Twists and turns.
Win probability down to less than 1%.
Shotgun snap to McCarthy. He's got time, and he launches a long spiral. Backpedaling catch. Goal line. Far side. Touchdown, Aaron Jones. Oh, what a grab. What a throw. A 27-yard strike. And the Vikings have their first lead tonight in Chicago with 9:46 to go in the game.
So they go once again and score 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter last night to beat the Bears 27-24. Fred, you mentioned that this was a beating perhaps worse than the one that your team took. Maybe not as bad as a beating as the Lions took.
It's a worse loss. It's a way worse loss.
It's a worse loss.
Yeah. It's not a beating. It's a loss, which is worse than a beating in some ways. But Caleb Williams missed DJ Moore wide open on a touchdown, overthrew him. I can't describe to you how wide open DJ Moore was. And that would have won the game for Chicago. And Caleb Williams, probably not independent of his painted fingernails.
It can't be done.
He overthrew DJ Moore in a true act of femininity.
Feminine energy doesn't win football games.
But, Caleb Williams kind of crapped himself at the end of that game.
Caleb Williams in the first half completed, I think, his first 10 passes, and everyone's saying, oh, he's lighting it up.
There we go.
Caleb Williams hangs onto the ball a lot.
Yes.
He doesn't. He panics immediately.
Okay, so that's what happened on the DJ Moore pass,
yes,
too. So
I didn't
what
see
happened?
The second half. So.
Well, I saw it this morning, and I did get up this morning and saw it and saw the analysis of it, and it's true. So this was real nerdy analysis. This is one of ESPN. So Williams drops back, and he panics.
Yes,
and he's looking at everything short.
He does a lot of that,
which is weird. That you immediately look everything short. So the way it was being described is that he was looking at everything short. Then he looks up and goes, "Oh no, DJ Moore's wide open down the middle of the field." And he then, in a sense of panic, as John just said, strange that you say it, if you didn't see the play, because this is exactly what happened. In a sense of panic, he then chucks it and overthrows DJ Moore by a lot, and that would have won the game.
Chicago revamped their entire offensive line. Coming into the season, they were supposed to have a top 10 or maybe even a top 5 offensive line. You watch Caleb Williams, go back and look if anyone cares, in the first half. He steps back and never just stands there. He's always moving immediately with his head on a swivel. He's never in any danger of being hit. As a matter of fact, partly because he panicked so much, he was only hit 3 times last night and sacked twice. He just, whatever it is, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have that calm. Meanwhile, J.J. McCarthy, who had a brutal first 3 quarters, found a way to win in the fourth. I don't know how good a quarterback McCarthy's going to be, but the difference between the two of them last night, to me, was striking. I would rather have McCarthy than Williams after watching last night.
But I'll give Caleb Williams a break in this, is that first of all, I'm not surprised they scored right away because that's the scripted Ben Johnson thing. But the thing about it was the way it was described in training camp is, remember that they threw everything at him so they could take stuff away?
Yes, I do remember that.
And
yes.
I think part of the reason that a quarterback, he's obviously capable of playing quarterback. I think that part of it might be that he doesn't really know what's going on. Like that it's so complicated that there's so much on his mind when he drops back. I don't know if it's afraid of being hit or if it's afraid of making the wrong read.
He doesn't give himself time to read anything. That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, but Ben Johnson's got that weird quick strike, crossing route crap. I just wonder. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, look, McCarthy sits in the pocket and is a traditional quarterback much more. He's a really good athlete, but he sits back a lot more than Caleb Williams does, and there might be a little bit of panic, but I wonder how much of that is on Ben Johnson too. That because I have my doubts of Ben Johnson being a good coach in the NFL.
Well, apparently they messed up the end of the game too with the time management on the clock because the Chicago did score again, and the idea was to either kick it out the back of the end zone or to kick it short, whatever they could do to not run any time off so they would get an extra timeout for the 2-minute warning. And instead, whether the kicker messed up or Ben Johnson didn't instruct his kicker, he kicked it into fair territory, and they ran enough time off to where that kind of messed them up so they would have a chance to get the ball back and at the very least kick a game-time field goal.
And it's the same thing John Harbaugh messed up the clock too, in that he didn't he did things to stop the clock when if he would have just let the clock run, Baltimore would have won that game. So it's 2 coaches in 2 consecutive nights that lost the game.
John, did you hear the numbers that Harbaugh has for blowing double-digit leads?
Yes, we talked about it yesterday. He's blown either 10 or 11. 10 or 11 double-digit fourth-quarter leads.
Yeah.
That's John Harbaugh, who's supposed to be a top 5 head coach or a top 3 head coach in this league.
What an awful, awful thing for a fan to have a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter and just think, it's just as likely they're going to lose this game as win it.
Considering awesome talent on that roster.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that he had always you can't fire him. No. I mean, he always has really good teams. He had Ozzie Newsome for all those years.
Yeah.
And they always win, but they do, aside from the Super Bowl that they won, but he's been there a real long time with a lot of really good rosters, they can't beat the best teams in the league. They can't. That's undebatable. That they fail in the playoffs. Because they have rosters that are Super Bowl rosters. Perennially, they're picked to win the Super Bowl.
He did win 1 Super Bowl,
Yes,
right?
that's what I said. He won. He beat his brother in the Super Bowl. He beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. But how long has he been the coach there?
18 years.
Yeah, all right.
He's got 277, I'm sorry, that's games, 172 career wins.
Yeah, I'm not firing John Harbaugh. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that they struggle mightily against, the best competition. I would rather have the other team. Let's put it that way. If it's the Ravens against another great team, I'm taking the other team every time. And you should. I mean, I'm sure if you went through in the break, if you went through all the playoff losses and all this, There's a lot they can't overcome.
Yeah, he's 13-11 in the playoffs.
Yeah, so that's not a good record.
That's
for the amount
including
of
the
talent.
4-0 record when
they won
Flacco was a quarterback
right.
and they won the championship.
Exactly. Not good in the playoffs. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Innings from Garrett Crochet and began a 3-game series in Sacramento with a 7-0 win over the Athletics. Crochet allowed just 3 hits and struck out 10 in the win.
Each pitch was very deliberate tonight, and I never felt like I was really overexerting and that I had a lot of energy left in the tank. But, this late in the season, just happy I was able to make it through 7.
Trevor Story and Carlos Narvaez backed him with homers. The Sox are now a game behind the Yankees for the American League's top wild card spot and 3 behind Toronto for first place in the division with 17 games to go. They pitch just in May against the Athletics tonight. Patriots visit Miami this Sunday. The team will be back at practice tomorrow. Patriots 0-1 after losing to Las Vegas last weekend. J.J. McCarthy had 2 touchdown passes and a TD run in the fourth quarter. Minnesota beat Chicago on Monday Night Football 27-24. Bears CEO Kevin Warren told fans in a letter yesterday that Chicago intends to build a new stadium in suburban Arlington Heights. They're hoping to host the Super Bowl in 2031. The team can reportedly buy their way out of their current lease for $84 million next season. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning. With over 50 trucks on the road, because your clogged drain is their emergency, go to johnsewer.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 985sportshub.com.
It's called Rising and Grinding.
Start your day.
Your finger on the pulse, Fred. Seldom right and never wrong.
Right here. Is that Dutcher or is that Hardy?
I know, looks like a poodle. It's an effing poodle, dumbass.
It's free parking for everybody on that side of Route 1.
Other side of Route 1,
Yeah,
yes.
the white side.
And and the other lot where if you agree to stay, they actually pay you.
90 minutes. You have to stay 90 minutes after the game. The emailer said they'll pay you $50 to do it.
And so it's a traffic control thing, I would imagine. It's
right.
Smart.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, so here is young Nicholas out at the Patriots game.
All right, what's your name?
Jim.
Jim?
Yeah.
Can we use this for the raid?
Oh, that sounds so similar to the chili guy. Yeah. The memories. The memories.
All right, what's your name?
Jim.
Jim?
Yeah.
Can we use this for the radio?
Yes, sir.
All right, your thoughts on the game today?
This is our home. We call it home. We got to fight for our home.
Okay.
No doubt in my mind.
All right. Were you very disappointed by the outcome?
Very.
There's no doubt in his mind. This is our house.
Yeah.
This is our home.
Yeah, just listen to the Bon Jovi song. This is our house.
Oh, God.
Well, you coming in here? You're coming into Gillette where it gets wild?
Are they still using that? Was anybody paying attention? I got to find out somebody was at the game.
Gillette where they pay you to stay. That's right.
How come?
They're better.
They're better than this?
Yes, they are.
No. They're not good. I don't know why everyone thought they'd be good. They're not good. They're not good. They should be.
This is our home.
This is our home.
This is our home.
They get a chance to. Oh, they played it once. They did score a touchdown.
Yeah, they would have played it on the opening drive.
Yeah.
That's
no, the second.
No,
second drive.
you're thinking of the wrong team. The other team scored on their opening drive.
Yeah, what do they play when the other team scores?
A guy called Felger and Maz yesterday, and his big issue with the game is that they deferred the kickoff.
Oh.
That was
the end.
That was the end right there.
That screwed it all up.
Yeah.
They're one of those teams, one of the few teams in the NFL that defers.
Yeah.
All right.
How so?
I know in my heart they're better.
Okay. All right.
Let's question your heart. It's not very smart.
What are your thoughts on Drake May?
Awesome.
Awesome.
And he will be. He's going to be a leader. He just got to get it together.
He wasn't so awesome today, though.
What?
Huh?
Yeah.
What, Chili?
He wasn't so awesome today, though.
What? I think he'll bring it on.
Okay. All right.
I'm positive.
Why won't your friend talk to me?
Because he's Mark.
Mark.
Oh, I know. Yeah. No. I know who it is. It's Mark Cimelli. That's why he won't talk to him.
Oh, man. You mean he was standing right there in the parking lot?
Yeah, it's Mark Cimelli, Nick's dad.
Oh.
Nick, I'm not a prop for your amusement. You want to talk to me? You talk to me on the phone. We're a strange.
This is the new song we're playing.
What a plot twist.
Yeah.
Nick goes out to get audio.
And Mark won't talk to him.
The one guy he finds to talk to him is there with his father, and his father won't talk to him.
Did that occur to you when you were cutting the audio that the guy's name was Mark?
Oh, man.
I won't talk to him.
Why not? Why not?
Let me down.
Why not? Why not talk to him, Mark? Come on.
Look at him. We got that bottom on him.
But I think they are talking. We had Mark on the show.
Yes.
I think they are talking. There was a moment there. I didn't press too much, which is not in my nature, but I didn't press too much about why they were
strange.
But we did have him on. And he seems to be doing good. All right, here we go.
I'm positive.
Why won't your friend talk to me?
Because he's Mark.
Mark!
No, he won't. Don't even try. Don't even try.
What was your outlook before this game?
Yeah, it's his neighbor. It's Mark's neighbor. Talking. Don't even try, Nick. Now's not the time. You're both going to have to get there organically. Like, something's going to have to happen.
An olive branch. Be an intermediary, drunk guy who likes the Patriots. Can you please be an middleman?
Because he's Mark.
Tell him I won't talk to him.
Cats in the Cradle's they're both a little old for Cats in the Cradle. I would hope that song isn't about, how old is Nick in his 40s yet? No. Nick's in his 30s. Okay.
Yeah, it's late 30s.
All right, there you go.
What was your outlook before this game? What did you think the win total was going to be for the Patriots this season before today?
Oh, at least 10 wins.
10 wins.
Yes.
Not so much anymore?
No, I'm still there.
Oh, you're still there?
I'm still there. I'm not going to lose that. No, I got faith.
Well, do you have any closing thoughts?
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, was that guy older, Nick? Yeah, okay, so I don't get it. I don't get that.
Better.
No, but it's not even about the current.
He didn't come up just in the Brady era. He understands what a losing football team looks like.
That's my point. You've seen what a bad football team looks like. You should recognize it on sight.
But there's a brand of Patriots fan that we were talking about this yesterday in the control room. There's a brand of Patriots fan that their world needs to exist with a successful Patriots quarterback. They became so... Their lives became so enriched during the Brady era that they literally they have to, their brain will break if the Patriots don't have a good quarterback.
No, I disagree. I
think he's one of those. Even though he's an older guy, I think he's one of those guys, John.
That guy existed when Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback and they weren't winning. So
Well, existed when Tony Eason was quarterback.
Eason, Doug Flutie was the quarterback at his team.
So,
and they couldn't win.
Awesome.
But my question is,
Jesus.
How can you have season? I'm taking it that the guy has season tickets and stuff. I don't understand how you can just that's enjoyable. That just this relentless positivity is at all enjoyable. Like that, I'm gonna put my jersey on and I'm gonna go to the game and we're gonna win. Because I have an unhealthy relationship with football. Very unhealthy. It affects my mood.
It's a stoic confidence. It's a faith.
This is our home.
This is our home.
We call it home.
We call it home.
We got to fight for our home. I know in my heart they're better.
What are your thoughts on Drake May?
Awesome.
Drake May is awesome.
And he will be.
Or will be soon.
He wasn't so awesome today, though.
What?
I don't understand how that's enjoyable. I don't. Isn't being upset part of the enjoyment? That range of emotion? That's part of it.
He's going to get amped up for next week.
Let's go.
Let's go. Hey, we're back, everybody. Here we go.
Let's go.
Any excuse.
It's like because what I realized is, and I made the point yesterday, is what I realized is like one of the few things that like I emotionally care about, that emotionally like affects me to a level where I'm aware of it. It's not like a subliminal thing. When they lose, this is the Jets. When they lose, especially in the fashion that they lose on Sunday, it bothers me too much. It bothers me more than it bothers my son. It bothers me more than it bothers the team. You know, because I took some solace in the team, members of the Jets going out and, you know, smiling with Aaron Rodgers after the game. It didn't anger me. It made me feel like, oh, well, they don't care as much. Like I needed some perspective in the matter. It did concern me. So I'm as big a loser as anybody. I just don't understand this relentless positivity. Because that feeling of the emotion, negative or positive, is what is the addictive nature of it. That's what makes it enjoyable, at least to me.
I think that guy, just stating the obvious, is in the minority of fandom. I think the majority of people who left Gillette Stadium were wildly disappointed.
I'd be pretty pissed if I thought they were going to win 10 games and they lost at home to Vegas. That would upset me. And also make me question the 10-win thing. Because if you're going to win 10 wins, that was one of them. They're not coming against Buffalo, you know?
I got news for you. I was reading the stories in Miami yesterday. I mean, they're calling this a get-right game this weekend.
If they lose to Miami in Miami, that's a problem.
But that's the thing. Miami sees the Patriots as a win.
No, I get that. Yeah, I understand that. But Miami's the worst team in that division. They should be worse than the Patriots.
Yes.
They should be because it's like a lame duck coach, even though I like him a lot.
Their secondary is shot to hell. Jack Jones. Remember Jack Jones?
Yeah.
He's their top cornerback.
Yeah, I know. And, you know, their quarterback's not doing great. Like, everything seems to be – they're like kind of a lame duck franchise. Like, Miami might –
You have Tyreek Hill throwing fits on the sideline, and they're talking about trading him, and he was supposed to be a captain. There's chaos.
Well,
McDaniels is going to get fired before the end of the year. I mean, this is a game that you should absolutely win, but at the same time, as bad as Miami is and as beat up as they are, they look across the field and go, oh, we have a chance to win this week.
Because I see Miami as like a contender for the number 1 overall pick. Like, they're that bad.
Yeah.
I see them as being that bad. Their situation is bad. All right.
Yeah.
And Nick talked to another guy.
What's your name?
Dave.
Can we use this for the radio?
Absolutely, Nick.
All right, cool. So,
Nick, first off, they make you seem like you're the ugliest man ever, and you're a good-looking guy, so.
Huh?
Make you sound like you're the ugliest man ever.
Oh, I don't think that's fair.
Well, we do talk about that wagon he's dragging.
But that doesn't make him ugly. That makes him prison cute. You know? You know what I'm saying? Fella that we play that his name I can't recall off the top of my head.
You can't. You forgot about Fleece already?
No, I couldn't remember his name.
You sag your pants in her, man. Somebody be up in your.
Ever since Fleece Johnson, now I just every time I see a guy, I wonder how he'd do in prison in terms
It's sexy.
if he would be attractive or not.
thank you. Yeah. All right. Tell me about the Patriots. What are your thoughts on the Patriots?
They suck.
Okay.
Drake May should have been better. The team, I mean, we're just going to miss that field goal went in from my perspective. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but that field goal went in. So we lost by 3 less points than anyone thinks. But they suck. They lost the Raiders.
Okay. You were expecting them to win.
No.
It might stink.
Okay.
No, I wasn't expecting them to win. I wanted them to win. I didn't think they were going to win.
But for the season, what were your thoughts? Their win total?
8-9 wins.
Has that changed now?
Yeah, they might win 4.
4 games.
Yeah, maybe.
It's only 1 game.
Yeah, no, I know, and this is how I feel. They suck.
It's 1 game, but it's a game. If you're going to win 10 games, you needed to win.
See, this is more realistic.
Yeah.
This fan was the majority of the people leaving Gillette Stadium. A lot of the people who wore the Randy Moss uniforms, wore the Teddy Bruschi, weird uniforms, those guys showed up thinking the Patriots were going to win 9 or 10 games, and they were wildly disappointed, and they were angry as they left the building.
I think if you're going to win 8, that's a game you got to win.
No, they'll win 6-7 games if they beat Miami. If they don't beat Miami, then what you're rooting for is a blockbuster trade at the top of the draft because there's supposed to be a lot of good quarterbacks.
That's a good point. The Patriots should get some draft capital they blew and Joe Milton won the game last year.
Yeah, you lose to Miami, then you seriously start thinking about trade scenarios in March. Like that's where your brain goes to. You beat Miami, you want to hang around until December. That's what you want. You lose to Miami, and then I understand that you should beat Miami. I wouldn't bet against them. I wouldn't bet against the Patriots of Miami.
So I tell you, look at the line again. Miami's still favored.
Well, I'm not touching it. I told you I went crazy with Vegas. I had Vegas every which way but loose.
Yeah.
I kept betting on them over and over again. Every time we had someone on, I'd bet more because I was like, these guys are wrong. But no, I'm not betting against them in Miami. No way.
They should have won this game. They should have won this game. Right. They lost this game to a team that isn't that good, and they suck.
You thought the Raiders were going to win anyways.
Yeah, but I thought the Patriots weren't going to be pathetic losers, and they were pathetic losers. That's what we built an institution of losing since we let Brady go. All we do is lose now. It's an institution of loser.
If you could say anything to the New England Patriots, what would it be?
Win.
Just win?
Yeah, just win.
If you could say anything to your least favorite person on the sports hub, what would it be?
I guess it would be Nick, and I would say suck it.
Me?
You did say you're cute, so you do got that going for you. All right, maybe that was.
I like you, and I want you.
Man.
That's right. We're gonna be friends. Yeah, got to win on Sunday. If you don't win on, I hope they win on Sunday. I certainly hope I really do hope they win on Sunday. If they don't win on Sunday, then it's not going to be fun.
We can't go through another one of these.
No.
This would be 3 years.
No, I'm no Patriot fan. But I don't.
I am a Patriots fan. This game is very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
But I'm telling you in all honesty, because I tell you, I mean, I'm not. I wanted them desperately to lose on Sunday.
No, I can't do this.
No,
again.
I don't.
I can't do 4-13 for a third straight year. They need to. They must win this game.
No, Drake May's got to pop a little bit. It's if he doesn't pop a little bit this season, it's not good. Like it's unrealistic that he's not going to make mistakes, and it's unrealistic that he's going to like win all these games for you like single-handedly. Like he's not going to cost you a game even. But you got to go into Miami and win that game. Miami's
Let's go.
Turmoil.
I don't care how much trouble they have. There have been great teams that have gone. But Patriots went 14-2 one year, and one of the two losses was in Miami. I can't do this again.
All right.
I can't do this again.
Okay, well, there you go. Thank you, Nicholas, for going out there. The Patriots, they all spoke yesterday, and we will have that for you when we return.
Awesome.
You're listening.
listen, if you've got to go, we understand, but make sure you bring the Sports Hub app with you so you can hear more of Todger and Hardy.
That's what I want on my tombstone.
On the Sports Hub.
To have a successful offensive play, it
owns that.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
It's a great place. You should try it. Hardy.
Local yokel.
Yeah.
Is what I am. I've never been there. I just know the guy.
You should go.
I think
Why
I
don't
know
you-
the
why
guy
don't
who
you-
owns
Why
it.
don't you go to the farm stand for it?
It's a huge farm stand with ice cream in it. It's great.
Oh.
Great. Little walk-up thing. We get the old waffle cone. Sure.
Well, yesterday it was because of the terrible gas pain that I had. And then I went, or whatever it was, and then I went to the internet to research it, and it said I had diverticulitis or something.
Diverticulitis?
Diverticulitis. And then I was like, I'd been told it's from eating nuts from someone who had it.
Yes.
But apparently it's not, according to the internet. Because then I became convinced it's because I eat a lot of almonds. But then it said that's not what causes it. No, I'm not. No, you're laughing like I'm doing so. I'm not doing something. I really.
It's too close for you not to be.
No, it's really not. I
Okay.
swear to God, I thought it was
All
because
right.
when I got a colonoscopy, I'll explain.
Okay.
When I got a colonoscopy, the guy that gave me the colonoscopy was like, like don't eat as much nuts as you're eating. Whatever he saw up there, he saw that
Sure.
nuts were trapped in the intestinal lining.
Okay.
So I'm not saying anyone lied to me or is misrepresenting something. But now that you say it, maybe because there's other things that we can talk about it off air.
You understand?
Yeah, I know,
You
but
were
that's
too
not.
close for me to
but,
be wrong.
but that's not fair to me. I
All
can't,
right.
not everything I say is a slap.
I'm
in the
not
face.
saying everything. It's just you kind of veered into that territory. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
No.
All
I
right.
didn't mean that as.
Sorry, folks.
But,
I don't mean to be speaking in code. but-
No.
Come
I
on.
didn't mean that as a slight to
Okay.
anybody. I swear to God, I
Okay.
didn't. Anyway, I thought it was.
So
from,
you thought it was diverticulitis? You
No,
got
I didn't. It's what the
medication.
internet said it was.
Okay, but you didn't just fart that sumbitch out. You had to go medication style.
No, don't be crass. There was no. The thing that was concerning is there was no symptoms other than pain, like an acute pain. Like it turned to pain.
Nothing cute about it, if you ask me.
Oh, you put a blow on it. Anything.
So you were just uncomfortable for the 3 hours, and then it just turned to pain. After
I
we
was
left here.
uncomfortable during the show, and then throughout the day it became to pain. But I knew one thing was going to happen, and it did. I knew Adam would text me and ask me how I was feeling, and for that I gave Adam a little information. I gave him a little information
Look at you, a gold star on your report card.
that
sir.
you two don't get. Not about my sickness, but about something else.
Oh.
I gave him a little information.
How about that? I know what you gave him.
As a reward.
I know.
No way. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not fair.
That's not fair.
Not fair at all.
Yes,
Next time I'll check in.
Yes,
Jesus.
he gets a little information. He started a dialogue.
So he knows and oh man.
We're talking in a lot of code.
All right, let's move
And that
on.
has nothing to do. We'll take a phone call to get us on track. Joe, go ahead.
Damn it.
All right, go ahead and eat all the nuts you want. It's no problem. Hey,
Thank you.
J.J. McCarthy scores 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to come back and win. He was taken after Drake May, I believe 7 picks after Drake May. They had Sam Darnold last year who left. How much better do you feel as a Vikings fan with J.J. McCarthy at the helm going into week 2 than you do with our current state?
I'll
Thank
tell you what Kevin O'Connell is the thing that I take from that is that there is such a thing as a coach that, look, McCarthy was underrated around here coming out of college. Everything that people talked about him coming out of high school at Michigan, everything was that he is very impressive. And so I thought McCarthy would be an okay. I don't think McCarthy's going to be like a top 5 quarterback by any stretch. But I think that when Kevin O'Connell can take any quarterback, and they have Justin Jefferson, and that helps. But I think he can take any quarterback and make them a winner. I think that's what it showed, because Sam Darnold didn't do anything for Seattle last week, and it's 1 week and whatever. But Sam Darnold's a very physically gifted quarterback. But more than anything, I think that it shows you that what do you think Drake May would do if he played for Kevin O'Connell? Do you think the Vikings would have made the playoffs last year with Drake May as a rookie?
Yes.
I agree. And that's because of Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell's like a special offensive coach, basically.
And Justin Jefferson.
And Justin Jefferson, yeah.
By the way,
sure, that helps an awful lot.
To answer the previous caller, you look at Drake May, you can see the talent. You can physically see it. If he's able to handle things a little differently, if he learns how to handle the blitz and not spin out of control after a mistake. I mean, Caleb Williams is I feel bad if I'm a Bears fan. That guy's, whether they wrecked him last year or didn't wreck him, whatever the case may be, the current product is not good. With Drake May, I think you can see into the future, and if he smooths himself out. And what Bob Sosey didn't really compare him to Josh Allen, but it's that kind of thing where Allen wasn't good the first couple of years, but you look at him now and he's much better. I think that could be the case for Drake May. So I'm not willing to say I'd want J.J. McCarthy over Drake May.
No, and I'm not saying that either. I would rather have Drake May than J.J. McCarthy. But I think that if Drake May was in his second year with the Vikings win that game going away. The way that it unfolded, I think that they made such a better talent. That was McCarthy's first start. I mean,
yeah.
You know, you give May the experience he had last year and then put him in that Vikings offense. I think that they scored 27 last night. What, did they score 40 points? I really do. I think that they score a couple more touchdowns if May's quarterback. I don't think that they go over in the first half or whatever the hell happened last night. What did they do? They scored 6 points in the first half.
Scored 6 in the first half.
Yeah, I think that they score a couple touchdowns in the first half.
Well, Mike Vrabel spoke yesterday, and he was asked about things happening or not happening offensively with the Patriots. What did he have to say about the running game?
We have a lot of confidence in the running backs, but also we have to be able to have a great execution in any scheme, whether that's a zone scheme, gap scheme. And so, again, the bottom line is we have to run the ball better, and we have to run it more efficiently, because then I think that all opens up, some more.
Okay. Maybe if you stop scheming and we're on the level.
Well, okay, why weren't you able to run the ball? Why were the Raiders so good at stopping it? Was it the line? What?
Their line should be able to run block, because that's you can't say you're a rookie, you can't run block.
No, you saw Campbell do it during the preseason. The pass blocking was the problem.
Well,
not
that's
the run blocking.
Yeah, the pass blocking is what's supposed to be the difference between a veteran and a rookie. You're supposed to be able to just maul a guy.
Yeah, you saw
right
it
away.
during that. The rookies did real well run blocking. The offensive line did real well run blocking during the preseason.
Yeah, there's no excuse to not be able to run block. That's just a bad offensive line. But in another thing with Drake May, in fairness, if we're going through it, it's not just Kevin O'Connell and that he has Justin Jefferson. It's that he has a competent offensive line too. I mean, the Patriots are bereft of talent offensively.
So
they just don't have talent.
So what was Vrabel's answer? Why were the Raiders stopping the run?
Well, there were different pieces and different guys moving at different parts of the area, and whether we wanted to run a play at a certain player, you're never going to know. And I think we just have to rely on our base rules, base fundamentals, block the bigs and block the backers. And again, you're going to have to do something to get to safety, and sometimes the corners are the ones that are left in some of these run games. So because you either can RPO it, you can read somebody, or they're going to have a player, again, widest from the formation that in theory is free. So,
well, that's not fair. If they're disguising their defenses, that doesn't seem
doesn't
seem very sporting.
To pivot to the Patriots defense, just like if you're playing against TJ Watt, everything you do is with TJ Watt in mind. You're running, you want to talk about running zone runs and stuff like that, like everything you're doing is because he's so good at getting off the ball that if you run away from him, he pursues from the back. You got to do like everything around that. There's no one on the Patriots, even with Christian Gonzalez in a game, who's a very good corner, but there's no one for the Patriots defense, in my opinion, that you have to have in mind on every play, right?
No, the decision-making by the quarterback not to throw the ball to Gonzalez's half of the field is present. But as far as running plays and blocking schemes, no.
Okay, but also in reference to Gonzalez, like you just look over there and then you see the receivers covered, and okay, that's a process of elimination. That's like even after a play starts.
Well, we talked about this. The Patriots don't have a game wrecker as an edge. They have good, not great, interior defensive linemen, but they don't have a 10. They have a bunch of 6s and 7s.
So my point is that this all goes back to how are they going to win 10 or 11 games or 9 or 10 or 11 games if they don't have these things other teams have. They don't have a weapon on offense. I know Travion Henderson is supposed to be good, but he's a running back, and I don't know what you want out of the guy. He's not Derrick Henry, who's going to take the ball 30 times. So he's a good piece. He seems to be very talented. But you don't have anyone offensively that you have to game plan around. You don't. If anything, Chip Kelly, with the knowledge Chip Kelly had at Ohio State, they game planned for Travion Henderson. If you look at who they game planned against. So if you don't
have that, you don't have the guy that you have to game plan against.
No, on either side of the ball.
Yeah, if you're a defensive coordinator, and Fred makes a good point, if you're a defensive coordinator, if you're the Miami defensive coordinator, and you look at the Patriots offensive
Kayshon Boutte.
Well, Boutte had a good game, but you don't have to game plan for him.
No, you would have to game plan. The only guy that I'm afraid of game breaking is Travion Henderson.
But it's Henderson,
right?
And it's not something that keeps you up all night. But you're like, all right, let's make sure we control this guy.
Right. If he's on the field, I'm aware of him,
yes.
and he's a game breaker, and I'm not letting him. I'm not letting him in that situation. Boutte's a
nice
good receiver,
a nice
decent
receiver right now because Diggs isn't 100%. He's your best receiver.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the performance from last weekend, and it's like, is there a guy? No. Who's the guy who had any kind of an impact? Him? Do we have to game plan for him? No.
Okay.
No, he's a receiver who had a good game.
Yeah. And again, this all goes back to, and it's not an insult to the Patriots or the fandom. It's just I don't understand how you're going to be this great team with no talent.
No, you don't yet. It's not like they have a bunch of suck players. They just don't have those one or two guys on both sides of the ball that can elevate and can change the game. And that's what the last thing that Vrabel said here. They need somebody to become that person.
I think everything that we do, we always want to be competitive and do it the right way. But then there just can't be any sort of block that keeps us from just going and playing a game and knowing that it's not going to look great at times, but it's going to be making a play. And somebody has to do that, and just somebody on defense has got to beat their guy or tip a pass, intercept the ball, knock it out, and just, again, there's a scheme to it. There is, and I don't say that by going rogue. There's a scheme to it, but then throughout the course of the game, there's somebody makes a play.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Listen, there is a member of the media that's losing their mind, and it's not someone we talk about, but they are someone who's losing their mind slowly, and we will get to that in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Garrett Crochet threw 7 shutout innings. He allowed 3 hits and struck out 10. And the Red Sox began a 3-game series in Sacramento with a 7-0 win over the Athletics last night. They're a game behind the Yankees for the top wild card spot in the American League. They visit the Athletics again tonight. Patriots have their Players' Day off today. They'll practice tomorrow. The team 0-1 after a loss to Las Vegas on Sunday. Their next game is their first road game of the regular season against Miami this weekend. Chicago Bears CEO Kevin Warren told fans in a letter yesterday the franchise intends to build a new stadium in suburban Arlington Heights. They're hoping to host the Super Bowl in 2031. Last night, Minnesota scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and they beat the Bears on Monday Night Football 27-24. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Dr. Matthew Lopresti and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, the hair doctor of Hardy, West Welker, and Christian Fourier. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free consultation. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy. Dutcher and Hardy.
I no longer love things.
Let's go. Let's ride.
98.5.
Like, let's roll the dice.
The Sports Hub.
Never cross a line if you only snort it. If you can't work it, then what's your purpose? On that surface, looks like a circus. All these clowns around, pull the curtain. She looks like she won't meet for certain. All that lurking won't get a burden. Searching for something you cannot hide. Look at
Hey, we are Dutcher and Hardy. And look, ESPN's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst. ESPN, how often do you guys consume ESPN?
Like tune in, like turn the channel to watch it?
For Sports Center, you mean, outside of a game?
Once every 3 months?
Yeah, I don't consume it very much either. But like Stephen A. Smith, and you know what? I got like pressed one time for like crapping on Greenberg, and because he did say something dumb. He was a terrible. That Golick and the Mike and Mike show was terrible. But his whole thing was that he had said something to like an industry magazine about how your job as a broadcaster is to properly tease material, which just was frustrated me so much because it's like, oh my God, you had such an easy job. Like, just please Subway. That was their job, is like, just don't anger Subway. The ratings didn't matter. And I said, it's something crass or something about him, but he's a good talent. Like, he's good. He's harmless, but that's not his job, is to be harmful. So I want to get this all out of the way, because what I'm saying is that I don't have any, outside of McAfee, there's no one on ESPN that really bothers me. I will say that the Buck and Aikman broadcast out of the big broadcast is far and away the best.
Of course.
Far and away. Apparently people are crapping on Romo that he didn't do a good job on Sunday. But that game was so frustrating, I barely paid any attention to what they were saying. But Romo's terrible and doesn't deserve. Brady's better than Romo. But Aikman and Buck are phenomenal. And, Al Michaels is great, too. I'm saying nice things because I'm about to crap on someone. Ryan Clark is someone whose name always comes up in GM searches very early in the process. So he's obviously respected in the NFL, okay? He is, and obviously he wants to be a general manager. So I believe with a very few, but some of these guys that are talking heads on television that are ex-athletes, this is a purgatory for them. Okay? Like, this is something that they're doing until they get that established job, like a real job, which is with an NFL organization. And I think that Ryan Clark has reached his tipping point. And I'll play you two examples. This is from last week. They're having some Brady Manning controversy, or something that I don't know why you're doing it on television, but they were. And this is 19 seconds of him during this. I think Orlovsky is the guy he's arguing with.
Yes.
I think John Elway was a generational talent. I think Patrick Mahomes is a generational talent. I don't think Tom Brady, I don't think Drew Brees, I don't think Peyton Manning are generational talents. I think Andrew Luck ended up being a generational talent. I don't think there's a ton of them out there.
But so then what? Then how does one, in your eyes, be a generational talent?
And it goes on and on and on and on. He's saying that he's saying Peyton Manning wasn't a generational talent, even though he was the number one recruit in the nation as a high schooler. He was the number one pick in the draft. He started 4 years at Tennessee. He is the SEC champion at Tennessee, which isn't easy to do. All this stuff, but he ends up losing his mind and this and that. So and they're arguing about Peyton Manning being a generational talent, which I know we're playing it and it's getting them pressed. But like, what's going on over there? Like, this is the argument now that you're having an argument about Peyton Manning's place in football lore. I don't really understand. It probably came from something else. But so Ian Schrager, who is no longer anymore, but at one point was the overweight guy on the very, very annoying Good Morning Football show. And I'll tell you why it's annoying is because people that analyze media tend to like it. And I don't care for that. They like it. They like it because it's doing something safe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when people that wag their finger a lot don't wag their finger at you. I don't watch it enough to say anything. But this Ian Schrager used to be the fat kid on it. But he's not fat anymore. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You turned it on because they had the pretty lady on it. And then they had
Kay Adams, right?
The guy that used to be in the military that wears fun T-shirts. This is I'm such a dick. This is the way I watch stuff. Like I'll put something on for like 1 second, and then I'll be like, pretty lady, fat kid, like military
Wacky guy.
Like, yeah, I'll be like built guy with a fun T-shirt. Like everything I look at is immediately dismissed. I'm such a dick. Like this is how I watch things. Like I didn't give it 1 second of a chance. I was just like, ugh. I already know what's going on. And then I read about it, and like everyone that like is like doesn't like things because they this person is saying offensive things. They all like the show, so I'm like, I don't like it either. But this is Ryan Clark. Now Schrager's crime is that his background is I don't know what it is. But Ryan Clark played in the NFL for 10 years, and Schrager didn't. That's all you need to know going into this.
4 seconds left in the game on 2nd and 11. It was the one target. He runs the out route.
You wake up this morning saying A.J. Brown has had a better day than CeeDee Lamb?
You know what you wake up saying, though? A.J. Brown's team is 1-0.
Of course.
Right, that's what I get it. But the thing is this, though, and we shouldn't do this on TV. And so I apologize if people think this is rude. That's the non-player.
Oh, stop. CeeDee Lamb is...
Let me tell you why. I'm not saying...
I'm not looking at fantasy football. Ryan, I'm not... Don't belittle me like that. I could come in and say, as 3 ex-players are saying one thing and give an alternative perspective, that maybe CeeDee Lamb did play well. And
Peter, what I need for you to do is not get mad and let me finish for one.
Okay, go on.
It wasn't about you. It was going to be about me.
Okay.
As a player... I can't speak for CeeDee Lamb.
Okay, and here's what I'll say about this, and I'm not an analyst, so this has nothing to do with me. You're better as a non-player. You're 1,000 times better on these shows. Let's go through it. Your job is to entertain. Your job isn't to be right. Your job isn't to be overly knowledgeable. Your job is to entertain. The really good guys, like Mad Dog, mispronouncing names, getting guys' teams wrong. But he's entertaining, and kind of what you give him grace because he's entertaining.
Well, it's also coming from the perspective of the listener. And if you're number one, if you're an analyst, there's a pretty good chance as just a fan, you've watched more of the game than this guy has played. Some of these guys say, they don't watch other games. They just watch tape. If you're watching and consuming the product hours a day just because you love it, number one, you've kind of got a leg up on somebody who maybe hasn't watched it as much. Even if they played it, they didn't watch it. And also, by you watching it, you are speaking to an audience that consumes it the same way you do. And that makes, I think, a lot of times your message more relatable and conveyable to the audience, as opposed to the player who might either talk over your head or talk about things that you can't consume because you're just watching it like the guy talking is watching it.
If you're like Orlovsky and you're breaking down game tape for them, then playing the position of quarterback is incredibly valuable. Yes. Like I told you about the Caleb Williams overthrowing DJ Moore thing. That was analyzed by some ex-coach when I saw it this morning. And so that's when that's valuable. But on like meta discussions about a weekend of football, the ex-player doesn't want to say anything wrong in his analysis, like to the letter, because he's been in the rooms and like knows that maybe it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like in a meta conversation, they don't want to make a definitive statement because they don't want to say something that a player could get upset about, and they know the players, and they're friends with the players, and they deal with the players, and that doesn't make for an entertaining product. Now, Orlovsky's really good, and they have him in a role that's really good because Orlovsky tells you why something happened during a specific play. That's when being an ex-player is really interesting But in a meta conversation over the course of an hour about a weekend of football where your object is to entertain, I think you're better off not being a player. Because why is Charles Barkley the best? He's an analyst, but he's on an entertainment show.
Because he'll say anything. He doesn't give a crap what people think.
What does he actively admit to? Not watching games.
Yes.
So the whole notion that he's an ex-player he's the anti-ex-player is why Barkley's so successful and so good. Him and Shaq, go watch it on YouTube. They'll make fun of games and say, no one's watching this. I'm not watching these games. That's watching the game almost is not the point. The point is to go out on there and to be entertaining. Now, there needs to be a guy with football that, can tell you why something happened. But there has to be 2 or 3 guys on there that are there to entertain. That's their job. Job's not to be right. Colin Cowherd makes millions and millions, tens of millions of dollars. He's wrong all the time. Ask him. Ask him if he cares if he's right or wrong. He doesn't care at all. Ask Stephen A. Smith if he cares about being right or wrong. Doesn't care at all. The point is that they're entertaining. Ryan Clark wants a job in the NFL. And that's a problem. It's not as compelling.
No, he has openly stated that's what he wants to do.
Right. And then if you're trying to impress front offices with your analysis.
We're having a lot of people saying you mean Louis Riddick. You're getting them mixed up.
I'm getting them mixed up.
No, but Ryan Clark has said that's what he wants to do. He wants to be a GM.
Okay. So Louis Riddick is the one that teams want.
Yeah, Louis Riddick is the person.
Ryan Clark wants to be a GM. I don't know if anyone wants Ryan Clark to be
Riddick
a GM.
is the person whose name is mentioned early on in GM searches.
Fair enough. I'm sorry for the confusion. But if you want a job in the NFL, you're compromised. That's true. In a meta conversation, you're compromised. You don't want to offend. And if you don't want to offend, you're not entertaining. You don't have to offend deliberately, but you have to be willing to go there if you want to. All right, we'll be back with Andrew Callahan, who's filthy, so he will offend. We'll have him in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
6-game road trip after a 7-0 win in Sacramento over the Athletics last night. Alex Cora's team is now 1 game behind the Yankees for the top American League wild card.
Yeah, did a good job with men in scoring position, putting the ball in play. That's something we have to talk about it. Avoid the strikeouts, especially in those situations. Romy with the hard ground ball went by. We score. We did all the good things. We ran the base as well too.
Garrett Crochet allowed 3 hits and struck out 10 over 7 shutout innings for his 15th victory of the season in this one. Dustin May will face the Athletics tonight. Patriots will visit Miami this Sunday after losing their regular season opener last weekend. The team will be back at practice tomorrow. J.J. McCarthy had 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown run in the fourth quarter. Minnesota rallied for a 27-24 win in Chicago. San Francisco tight end George Kittle out the next 3 to 5 weeks with a hamstring injury. And Brock Purdy is questionable for the 49ers this weekend with a toe injury. If he's unable to play in New Orleans on Sunday, Mac Jones would get the start. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, keeping drains flowing for homes and businesses in the greater Boston area since 1976. Go to johnsewer.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Here we go.
Boom. I win.
Kaboom.
Yeah.
Hit somebody. Oh. We've got a passion for Boston sports. Get angry. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wallach?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports Hub.
I think the connection was good. It always can be better, but it goes back to practice. Practicing Wednesday, full padded day, getting full speed looks, and coming in Thursday, just getting it back together. So, we got 2-3 opportunities to work on that and be better for week 2.
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Andrew Callahan is the Patriots reporter, as well as a columnist for the Boston Herald. He comes in studio at this time every Tuesday. Hi, Andrew. I have the wrong mic up. No, wait. That's the right mic.
You got 2 mics on over there, and none of them are Andrew's.
There you go.
Just do this?
Yeah, do that. Thank you. He was making the mistake, not me.
He was in a different spot. He was over closer to Hardy. I understand why that threw you off.
What was going on here? Did you guys have 3 guests in? Because all the mics seemed ready to go, and obviously I picked the wrong one.
I know. Joe just, he's eating. All right, so here's the deal. Andrew Callahan does his very popular 2 Stats, 1 Lie segment, but this just came up on my phone, so I'm going to do this quickly before we get down to business. We have you for an hour, so we have this luxury. All right, I have a list of the player who scored the most touchdowns against every team. So each individual team, the player who scored the most touchdowns while facing that team.
In history.
In history,
okay.
In the history of the franchise. And this is from a reputable site. This isn't some kid.
Passing touchdowns count, or you have to carry it?
You crossed the goal line. You are the person who
Receiving,
actively.
rushing.
All right.
Yes, right. Receiving or rushing touchdown.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you 2 teams. There's a lot of I'll give you one hint. There's a lot of very unimpressive names on this list. I'll give you 3 teams because I like one guy a lot. Who will start with your team? Who has scored the most touchdowns against the New England Patriots in the history of their franchise?
That's a great question.
And how many?
Whoa. Well, how many is obviously 63.
Are you saying 63?
No,
that
that's way
sounds
too much.
like a
I
lot.
don't know. Yeah, it is a lot.
That sounds like an awful lot. I'm going to give you a hint. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'll just guess the number. I'm going to say the number is 16.
The number is 17, and that's very impressive.
Very
All right,
good.
I'll tell you this. This player is very famous, and I can't give another hint. It's very, very famous player, like a Hall of Fame career.
Thurman Thomas?
That is incorrect. Anyone else?
I was going to say like Andre Reed or something like that.
It's going to make you feel good about yourself because you bring back good memories.
Okay.
Hardy.
Most against the Patriots.
Yes.
I think his career was too short. It wasn't Curtis Martin, was it?
No. It was O.J. Simpson.
I feel so good now.
See, I like the running back. The running back, obviously, it's going to have to be. It's not going to be a receiver.
There are some that are receivers because obviously Jerry Rice is against some teams. Let's and I'm just going to ask you two more teams. This will just be quick.
Okay.
Who has more touchdowns against the Jets than anyone else? Because I'm just curious. You're not going to know, but I'm just curious if you've heard of the player. I'm just going to ask. Billy Cannon?
I have no idea.
Any idea?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay, and that's the team that's only been around since the 60s, so I don't know how that got by us. All right, I'm going to give you a lot of hints on this. Dolphins, AFC East player, receiver in the 80s, not a Hall of Famer.
Irving Fryer?
That's a great guess, but along those lines, not a Patriot. AFC East 80s receiver, not a Hall of Famer, not a Patriot against the Dolphins. So it could be a cult, but I'll eliminate them too.
Okay.
So that was just a flex. That was a flex. I'm not trying to trick you. This is
it a Jet?
Perhaps.
Wesley Walker.
Oh, out of nowhere. Boom! He was really good for a while.
I was going to say either him, the way you were winding up, it was either him or Altoon.
Altoon didn't play long enough, unfortunately. Wesley Walker, blind in one eye. He was
not against Miami.
He was lightning quick.
Was he the one who had his pinky surgically in a hook so he could grip a football?
I was unaware of that story. I know he's blind in one eye.
That was Ronnie Lott cutting his finger off.
Ronnie Lott. And
also another Jet.
The highlight of his career, his long career, was his time with the Jets. All right, Andrew. Here we are. What did the game go the way you thought? What was I forgot what you thought was going on. Did you like the Patriots on Sunday going into it?
I picked the Raiders to win by about the same margin, figuring they had the two best players in the field, Brock Bowers and Max Crosby, and then the better quarterback. But I also called this the most unpredictable season opener in recent Patriots history, so I was up for anything on Sunday.
And you got none of it, so it was boring, let's be honest. But what did you I'm going to keep this very open-ended. What were your takeaways? We'll start with that, and then we can get more specific. Just in a general sense, negative, positive, what were your takeaways?
So I'm going to start with a little bit more than nitty-gritty and zoom out because I watched, all the snaps yesterday. You can find a giant film review in the Herald today or online. To me, this game flipped on pressure because through the first half, both teams said, F it, we're not running anymore. The Raiders had a 74% pass rate. The Patriots in the process were blitzing them nonstop, the highest rate I've seen in maybe years. And it burned them to start, right? Geno Smith hits that first touchdown, but then shuts them down. And in the second half, they continue to blitz, but Geno Smith hits the big plays that sustain these scoring drives, 30-yard pass, 28-yard pass, 38-yard pass. So he's handling himself, and they adjust against that blitz pressure. Drake May, meanwhile, who was only under pressure 3 times in the first half and obviously did a better job, melts and falls apart. And nobody likes pressure, but he was 4 of 8 for 41 yards with a pick and 3 sacks. To me, that's where the game flipped. And the Raiders found answers for that blitz pressure, wherein the Patriots did not. So when it's a game where everyone's playing by the same rules, hey, we're not going to run the ball. We can't run the ball. And then the Raiders lose their best player on offense in Brock Bowers. You figure the Patriots would be in a good spot, but they got out-coached. Their quarterback played worse, and so they lost.
So why didn't the Patriots adapt to a screen game or something to get the pressure off this kid?
Their screen stunk. That's it's funny because I know you texted me this during the game.
I did. I was frustrated as hell.
And I was watching and going, I think I'm charting every play as the game's going on. I had about 4 or 5 screens, and they got to 6 by the end of the game. None of them really hit in a way you'd call them a successful play. So some of it's timing, some of it's the defense getting a good read, and other times, like Travion Henderson gets the ball once in the left flat, it just, boom, gets hit right away.
Do you think that was... It was an interesting twist that Chip Kelly is the offensive coordinator for the Raiders and that he was with the Ohio State when Travion Henderson was there. Do you think that they were, when you watched it, did you think that they were keyed in on him? That they were aware that they were keeping an eye on him? Because I don't know. You're the one who watched it.
So I talked about this with Mike Giardi in my podcast last night.
A second time.
He felt this way.
The second time that he watched the All-22, there's a big breakdown in the Herald. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Screw you. Not him, not you.
Oh, okay, good.
Him,
what's
not
happening?
you. He's poking fun at the way I phrased the question, which is completely unfair.
It's not unfair. At what game did you watch when all of New England and everyone listening right now, what game did you watch when we were all watching the Patriots?
Oh, well, I watched the Seattle game, of course.
Yeah.
No, I watched the Jet game.
Yeah. And how did you consume the Patriots game?
In real time?
No. At any time.
In real time?
At any time.
Hang on, I'm going to break it down
I'm
for
just trying to find out how much of the game you watched.
As of today or as of yesterday?
No, as of tomorrow. By tomorrow, how much of Sunday's Patriots game will you have watched?
As of today, I've probably seen 75% of the Patriots game.
As of yesterday.
50.
So take all these questions for the greatest.
Throw those right out.
That's why Andrew Callahan's here, because he's watched it twice, which makes up for my 50%.
Thank God you're here, Andrew.
How much
I thought it was 75. Is it 50? You're lying to me.
No,
there?
75 now.
Yesterday it was 75 now.
Yeah,
First thing when he
75
gets
now.
home. Watch that.
There's a lot of running plays that don't go anywhere. There's a lot of things that happen that don't need to
The
be
game was
analyzed.
boring, Hardy. He's already said that multiple times.
Was it not?
I watched the whole thing. Yes, it was boring, but I watched it.
I'm tempted to see
I don't
how
have to
much I
watch
can-
it live. I'm not watching them live if they're up against the Jets. I'm not watching it live.
I understand that.
I'm not.
I got it.
If it's an interesting game, I'll consume in its
So
entirety.
this
but
Miami thing is not. It's a Miami game.
no,
two
it's
bad
intriguing
teams.
because if they lose this game, then I'm going to be
well,
very.
that's something we can ask Andrew about later.
Yeah.
But yes, I
Anyway,
agree with
Fred,
that.
they triple teamed Trayvon Henderson anytime he took the field. It was crazy. They abandoned receivers altogether. You should have seen this in the 75%. One time he was quadruple teamed.
So they were focusing. on him.
They said, F it, we're not going to rush the quarterback. Just put 5 guys on him.
Can it just be noted, though, that I asked that question about Chip Kelly and Travion Henderson?
Yeah, that was well done.
That's an excellent.
It was a good question.
And
we
that's
got a great answer.
And that's like an analyzation of the game.
And it actually
was
backs
bogus.
up what we were talking about last hour, which was if you're a defensive coordinator and you are facing the Patriots, basically you have one person to cover, which is Travion Henderson.
So they did not triple team him, John. Did not quadruple team him.
I understand that, but my point is they pay extra attention to him.
They were aware of him, but I think even if you didn't have this heightened awareness about, hey, there's 32, he can take it to the house any single time. The way that the Patriots used him allowed you to play regular defense. Like we talked about simple screens. It was a swing pass. It was, there's a regular running back screen. They had some, option runs in there. But he only played 25 snaps, And some of them were design touches, others were not. But ultimately, that was my biggest gripe with Josh McDaniels yesterday. He had some smaller, weirder stuff that I don't think it mattered as much. But the bigger point was, if he's your most dangerous player, get him on the field more than 25 snaps.
Okay, so they couldn't figure out anything out with Ramondre Stevenson either. So it wasn't.
Didn't break a tackle.
Yeah. So
Wait, is that a real thing? Are you being sarcastic?
The thing he posted yesterday.
46 snaps, didn't break a tackle. Henderson only had 1 in 25.
The team had what? 4 broken tackles?
4 total.
And Genty had 6 by himself yesterday.
Well, Genty had 4, but Jacoby Myers
had 6. I'm sorry.
So, and that's Stevenson's whole thing is to.
Yes.
I mean, he's not a game
short
picker.
yardage. You
Right.
want it? Yes, right.
Oh, that's a very interesting stat.
Yes.
So, what do you attribute that to?
Bad O-line play. And because the other stat, when you look at Stevenson, and most of this is courtesy of PFF, he had 15 total rushing yards, right? He had 17 after contact, meaning he's getting the ball. And I tweeted this clip during the game of their 3rd and 1 right before the half going, you can't have this because there are 3 Raiders in the backfield. And he's getting the ball being like, where am I supposed to go?
Right. Now, shouldn't that age is an excuse for poor run blocking, in my understanding of football. For instance, if you have rookies on the offensive line, there's a learning curve in pass protection, but running, it's more of just a mauling situation. And if you're talented, you're talented. Is that inaccurate?
I think it's accurate enough.
Yeah.
Like, there's a timing element that gets really underrated when we talk about this.
But
for the
they
most
played
part,
the position before. Like, yeah.
And you have to
like
move
I
people.
couldn't do it, but
Right.
it's easier to grasp at a professional level than pass blocking.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You're better off running behind rookie offensive linemen, which obviously they have 2, than you are asking them to sit back in pass protection.
Okay,
for sure.
So that's frustrating then
Yeah.
if you watch
Oh,
it
of
that
course.
they had an inability to run block.
And they got stuffed twice on 3rd and 1 in the last 5 minutes of the first half. So when Mike Vrabel tells us yesterday, it just wasn't an effective play. I think the timing of those, in addition to you should get 3 feet, really left an imprint on them when they went into halftime and said, all right, this is a passing game now.
So if you're a coach and you're McDaniels and you're Vrabel, is that something that you just go, we didn't pick those up because we didn't perform? It's not a play calling, or it's something that just by nature we should be able to do that.
You should be better at that soon. I do think if you're going into Miami, where now obviously you want to avoid an 0-2 hole, you should be mindful of the fact that the one time you picked up short yardage was this fake tush-push formation, and you flip it left to Henderson, who goes 14 yards. Like, some more trickery is probably involved, or quarterback sneaks in short yardage now, because obviously you just can't move people.
I love that play. And
Great play.
It absolutely fooled
Very
me when
cool.
I was watching. It was at 1:38 p.m., Fred. You wouldn't have caught it.
Yeah, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
But it was cool to see it. How often can you run that? Well, once in a game?
Yeah, you can't run that for a while.
We have to break, but well, I don't know why everyone doesn't do that push. I refuse to call it the tush push, but I don't know why everyone doesn't do it.
But they didn't do the push.
I know. That's what I'm saying is I don't understand why every team doesn't do that. If it's so effective for Philadelphia, like Buffalo couldn't pick up a yard with Josh Allen again on Sunday night. That I watched. But the thing is, and remember the playoffs, they couldn't do it either. Like, I don't know why. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. There's got to be a reason. Like, it's not like these coaches are just like, Like, there's got to be a reason they're not doing it. But if it's so effective for Philadelphia, and like Buffalo can't do it, and Josh Allen is huge, I don't understand why you don't at least attempt it. But what do I know? Obviously, not a lot. I'm not focused.
No.
The first break just became a big indictment of me, which is completely unfair. I'm a victim. All right, we'll be right back. Andrew Callahan's with us for the hour.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
All right, Blue Chew isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code.
on the details and take advantage and try to come out with a win, for sure.
We're touching already. Andrew Callahan is in our presence as he, covers the Patriots for the Herald, among other duties. And he has watched the game several times. And, all right, Drake May's performance, how did he look? Did he look confused? Did he, when you analyze it, what did you see from him?
Saw a lot from Drake. A lot I didn't like. I thought overall it was just an okay performance. Already mentioned the play under pressure, which was really, to me, the difference, where, again, 0 for 3 in the first half, second half 4 of 8, 3 sacks and a pick whenever he was pressured. It's got to be better than that. You had some missed throws that were short here and there. Didn't love it. But for me, he just seemed a little busy-headed, and I don't know if it's the offense, and Vrabel said this yesterday, we got to figure out maybe if we put too much on his plate. I think he's capable of that. But there are things that over time you can't live with him as the quarterback if you're going to surprise this season, have a winning season, or even make a surprise run of the playoffs. So it's a little disappointing, I'd say, from Drake.
And do you think it was the McDaniels, him being too in his head about the complexity of the offense, or do you think it was just being rattled by what the Raiders were doing?
I don't think it's the complexity of the offense, because I know that McDaniels has had to change how he teaches it to these guys. Like when Vrabel was in Tennessee, one of the first things they did is they brought in old high school teachers from Nashville to sit in on their meetings. And he had an old defensive coordinator by the name of Dean Pease who would go on and on and on. He was a good coach.
He was here.
But he was here, went to Baltimore and then Tennessee. And he would have these hour-long breakdowns like one play. And the teachers go, look, the kids today need breaks. It's got to be 15 minutes. Give them a little bit of phone. Let them get up. Let them do these different things. I don't know how McDaniels was running his meetings before, but I know it's not like – I know that's exactly how it is right now. So the complexity seems to be fine. The offensive lineman didn't blow many blocks, or the receivers didn't run routes where I'm going, ooh, that was an issue. It's just he has so much on his shoulders because of the pressure, because they're not running the ball, and you're playing behind against a defense that knows they can throw anything at you. It's a lot. That's what it is.
Okay, and so it's a talent issue.
No, it's not talent. It's just
not with May, but with the team.
Yes,
it's a talent issue.
Yes.
Okay, let's do this exercise. If May's on the Vikings, what is the success? How does that affect his success? Personnel and coaching.
I mean, I think he probably makes the playoffs like they did last year with Sam Darnold. Because, that team is, you talk about talent, like stacked. That was a team that should almost had the 1 seed. Had they beaten the Lions in that last game last year, I think they probably went on the road against Chicago like J.J. McCarthy did, playing worse than Drake May did, I think, aside from the finish, which is really important. But, it's hard to say, because the guy that we've seen, we've talked about this before, his development now for going on a third straight year is behind a bad pass-protecting offensive line. That lends itself to bad habits. So when I see him a little frenzied at time or busy-headed Sunday, I don't know if that's a one-game sample in September, which we know by now not to trust because the Patriots beat the Bengals last year, or are these habits that they're trying not to get ingrained but are there because he's a guy who just constantly has to worry too much about pressure.
Do you see mechanical issues with him? A lot of people have been discussing that.
You know what's funny is, like, if the guy's completing passes, if a pitcher, for example, is throwing strikes and you're like, oh, that's not really how you're supposed to wind up and throw the ball to the plate, you threw a strike. The issue comes up, we love to do this, when the result isn't what we like, you kind of run it back and be like, oh, it was the mechanics. No one cared about this when he had good games last year. I don't love it. I think there are some throws where his feet get a little too happy, but it's not something consistent where I'm worried about that. I'm more worried about the protection and what it does to him mentally.
Okay. And so do you think that they were negligent in the offseason because they are actively creating bad habits?
No, I think that bad habits stem from the offensive line play.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Do you think they were negligent in terms of building
they tried.
that offensive
No one just
line?
wanted to come here. I mean, just like Chris Godwin, they gave Ronnie Stanley or offered Ronnie Stanley way more than he actually signed for to stay in Baltimore. Same with Godwin in Tampa Bay. They tried an interior offensive lineman, someone who went to Minnesota. Instead, they got Minnesota's leftovers and Garrett Bradbury.
Yeah, Bradbury, he came in with a reputation of being terrible.
Not a good pass protector. I will say, though, he was the only one I didn't have down for a pressure let up Sunday. So, talk about September when you go, I don't know what to expect. This is largely not meaningless. The games count, but I can't extrapolate anything from this for the long term. That's an example. I'm not going, oh, Garrett Bradbury's going to be this outstanding pass protector the rest of the season, but he was a good Sunday.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, I was just going to say, defensively, this was the half of the team that was supposed to keep them in games. So they had a couple of weapons to face against the Raiders. But, and we had a disagreement about this on Monday. I didn't think the secondary looked all that good. I thought the 3rd and 20 that they gave up at the end of the game was pretty much inexcusable. Hawkins redeemed himself, after the touchdown by getting the interception. Overall, though, defensively, what did you think of this team? Does it have the markings of a defense that will be able to keep them in games?
So the secondary played up to my expectation, which I think is to say it was passable, if not a little bit better than that. The issue, you bring up the 3rd and 20, and I think this goes right in concert with the 3rd and 11 we saw in the first quarter. The play calling it sometimes was just way too aggressive. And the 3rd and 11, the touchdown, you remember Christian Barmore and Milt Williams, your maybe 2 best pass rushers, drop into coverage, and Geno Smith throws this ball to Jalen Hawkins, who's covering Trey Tucker. I go, yeah, Jalen Hawkins should have covered Trey Tucker better, but I'm not asking a middling safety.
He shouldn't have fallen down, yes.
Yeah, not asking a middling safety to stand up, but cover a small, speedy guy. Like, why would you ask him to do that against Pop Douglas in practice?
Yeah.
That's a scheme thing. That's a play calling thing to me. You send the house on 3rd and 20. Like, what else is he going to do? He's going to throw it long because he's got nothing to lose. It's an arm punt. So I wouldn't have made those calls. To me, if you had Christian Gonzalez, this would have been a different game because they would have put him on Brock Bowers on 3rd down, and that would have, obviously shorted some of their drives. But ultimately, I don't think that's why they lost yesterday. Tackling was a bigger issue and play calling in big moments.
So it seems like something that you could fix, though. If you're too aggressive with the play calling and you're making mistakes in terms of personnel and matchups, do they have enough talent on the defense, if they fix those things, that the defense can keep them in game?
Definitely. Absolutely. I mean, I'd say they did keep them in the game yesterday. 20 points? You should be able to do that against a Raiders defense that was not good last year.
You should, but also, what are your expectations for the offense? And look, you're not going to win a ton of games if you sit down and say, okay, we've crunched the numbers. This is it. 17 points is the most we can squeeze out of this offense in any given week against any given opponent.
You're going to be terrible.
You're going to be terrible, but that might be what it takes.
I think 20 has to be
not the
floor, but something close. You know, like you got a good quarterback. You've got better offensive linemen. You've got better receivers, good tight ends, deep running back room. Like, let's get it to go. Let's move. 20 points should be the minimum of what you're shooting for on Sunday.
This team doesn't score points. When was the last time they had 30?
2022 with Bailey Zappi in Cleveland.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, this is what we're talking about here. I mean, you say you hold the team to 20. I think you got to hold the team to 14.
Right, but this is not that team, though. Bailey Zappi's not Drake May. The end of Bill Belichick losing his mind and Gerard Mayo are not Mike Vrabel. And Josh McDaniels, as we know, is not Alex Van Pelt. So the talent is the talent. Don't get me wrong. And I love to say that exact phrase to remind people they got a ways to go. And the offensive line, still an issue. But it's better than what they had then in the most important places. So to me, that means no excuses when it comes to just scoring 20 points.
Well, if you want to feel better, the Eagles held the Cowboys allowed 24 points and lost. The Chiefs allowed 27 points and lost. And the Falcons allowed 23 points and lost. So there you go.
There you go.
That makes you feel better. The Saints allowed 20 points and lost. These are all things that you can feel good about. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Okay, we were talking about this before you got here. This game in Miami, technically north of there, but this road game against the Dolphins this weekend. Patriots don't always play. In fact, they never play well down there. A lot of weird things have happened to good teams down there. They're 0-1. If they lose this game to a Dolphins team that's beat up, probably is going to have their coach fired during the season. Tyreek Hill's got all sorts of problems, throwing tantrums on the sideline already. He wasn't voted a captain. There's a leadership issue. I could go on and on. If they go and lose this game, this is a very winnable game. If they lose this one, I fear we're in store for another 4 or 5 win season.
I fear that's what we'll hear a lot of next week. I want to remind folks that they have not won there very often and that they're underdogs going into Sunday. So
and it's a marathon, not a sprint. You can still
quiz time. 2 games into an NFL season is equivalent to how many games in an NBA season?
Oh, jeez.
I can tell you this off the top of my head.
Okay, go ahead.
5?
It's 10.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
It's 18 or 6 series in a Major League Baseball season. 0-2 is bad. If they go down and lose to Miami, John, you're right. It's going to be.
What's the
issues. You've had
percentage
2
of teams
winnable
that
games.
start 0-2 though that make the playoffs? That's when it starts getting scary
it's
as
low,
a fan.
14,
Yeah,
15%.
yeah.
But you have been at the front of the bus going, anyone who thought this team was going
I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Right. So it's not something you should concern yourself with.
No.
There's a
but-
difference between improvement and 6 or 7 wins and another 4-13 season, which is what I feel would happen.
My problem
They're
with
not going to be 4-13.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But my problem with the Miami thing is that it appears that Miami's falling apart. You got to admit, this is McDaniel. This is last year as the coach, and I like him a lot. Which it's sad to me that he's losing the job. I mean, there's mutiny on the sidelines. They're trading away a ton of. I mean, they treated the offseason like they didn't want to win this season.
Jack Jones is their number 1 cornerback.
So, like,
at this point,
you're going into like a team that's like at the height of toxicity. Like, if you were asking me today, and not just based on week 1, but based on the offseason and then throw week 1 in, but that's part of the formula. Miami's in contention for the number 1 overall pick in the draft. I really believe that. Like New Orleans,
Cleveland.
And Cleveland, I mean, but they played Cincinnati.
I think
so.
Cleveland's going to be a little better than that.
But, well, maybe not. But Cleveland, New Orleans, it's fair. But Miami's in that echelon based on coaching, offseason, and first game.
If you have improved, you should win this game.
It would be not – look, doing sports radio in Boston, I'm hoping they win on Sunday because it's going to be very difficult. I really do hope they win on Sunday because if they don't show against Miami, then I think we're on the same page with the amount of wins, but we also are on the same page about in December, like being technically in the hunt. That's all you really want.
Yeah.
And that if you don't win that Miami game, now you're getting in a situation where, look, it's great for the team if at the end of the season they finish stronger than they started. That's what you want too. But you do want it. You don't want to mathematically out of things.
You want
like
some
early
in
the
December.
year.
You want some Felgermaz path math. You want to have you want to be able to have the conversation.
Yeah.
Technically, still possible.
That's all. I want to be crystal clear. If they lose at Miami, this is very bad. An 0-2 start. If they have the same problems with tackling, certain play calling, Drake May under pressure, that portends poorly for the season. I'm not going to be happy as a guy who has believed in May and in Vrabel. The issue for me, whether they win or they lose, is extrapolating anything from the 2 weeks in the NFL season that mean less than all of the rest. Now, there is something to be said for when you lose these winnable games in September. I was texting with Chris Mason and Mass Live about this yesterday. That when it comes to December, and you mentioned, or we talked about 2022 a couple of minutes ago, they lose to Cincinnati on a Ramondre Stevenson fumble on Christmas Eve, and they were this close to winning that game, and they finish 8-9. You really would have loved to have beaten the Dolphins in their season opener that year. Those games, these games that they just lost on Sunday and might do again this week, come back to bite you. I'm just not going to freak out because I still believe in what I see from this team in the most important positions, and September tells us nothing.
What do we know about Gonzalez?
Not much more than I knew last week, which he's not practicing, hasn't practiced in over 6 weeks now by the time whenever we see him on Wednesday. And to me, that doesn't seem like a guy who's ready to play on Sunday.
What are the odds we see him tomorrow?
I would say probably pretty low. And to me, here's the simplest thing about Gonzalez. The most likely thing that happened with him is he had a setback because he pushed himself too hard or the team pushed him too hard.
Right.
That's what happens with injuries.
Yeah, and with that soft tissue injuries, too.
And if it's a grade 2 hamstring, which it's certainly not a grade 1 because this is more serious, then he's actually at the back end of his recovery timeline for how bad those are.
Do you remember a couple of weeks ago we were sitting here, it's like, he's really banged up, and he's going to sit. Just plan on being out from Miami, too. You don't even need him for Miami. Now, they shouldn't, but...
I'd want it for Miami.
I'd want him. I'd actually really want him for Miami.
I don't receivers that technically should be good.
That's the strength of their team is their receivers. Now, the quarterback's ability to get to the ball, to get them the ball, is of question. In the fact that every time he gets hit, it seems almost like like a cruelty.
But if I'm remembering, that was the
situation.
conversation. You should be able to get to Tua quick enough to where you're going to negate his receivers and their speed on the outside. So having Gonzalez,
I like this style of defense against Miami too better than what the Patriots used to run. When they get the ball up that quickly, and this defensive line is, we just got to go in and screw stuff up. That should help them, I think, schematically.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, you're right. I mean, 0-2 at the beginning of the schedule didn't seem like an ideal 2 games to lose, because it seemed like it was weighted pretty. The weight of the easiness of your schedule was early. But
and you still got Pittsburgh and Carolina. But if it's 0-2, John, I agree. It's going to be pretty bad.
Pittsburgh, good luck against
Pittsburgh.
You got Aaron Rodgers is up to his Hall of Fame.
He can play now, huh?
He was victimized.
I would
by
say
the Jets.
you got Carolina, New Orleans soon enough.
Browns are down there. Titans in October.
Yeah, I know they have an easy schedule. All right, but you got to win the games. All right, we'll be back with the 2 stats and 1 lie. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headline.
We go to my two stats and a lie. Two of these stats are obviously the truth. One is a lie. Some imaging with this would be fun.
All right. I'm told on the Toucher and Hardy show with Andrew Callahan, who had brought a segment of his own to the show, which we appreciate very much, that Nicholas is, I know Nicholas, we have a lot of them. You play what you want, dealer's choice. Is there a new one?
Oh, there's absolutely a new one.
Oh, my God.
All right, here we go.
Two stats. One line. Two stats. One line. Two stats. One line. Now come on, Andrew. Tell us two statistics from the game. But also please tell us one lie. Unless it's one of those 3 weeks where you'll tell us 3 lies.
There's a lot more.
Now you'll tell us 2 stats, but also tell us 1 lie. And Fred will get confused, and Wallach won't be able to deduce the truth. Two stats and 1 lie.
Oh, we know who wrote it.
Yeah, that was mean, Nick.
I mean, someone came out unscathed.
Yeah. It's kind of odd how that happened.
Man.
It's outstanding.
Interesting.
All right.
Thank you, Nick.
It makes me hate the Doors even more.
Didn't think it was possible.
Didn't think it was possible. Oh, he was a poet. All right. It is 2 stats and 1 lie, but there's this twist that some weeks, like last one, they're all lies.
Oh, and there's another twist that we found out that John was Googling last week.
Oh, yeah.
New rule for you, John. Put your hands out, please.
Oh, he's giving them oven mitts.
Hands above
You're
the
going to
table.
be forced to wear oven mitts during 2 stats and 1 lie, so we know you're not Googling it.
That is a good point, because he was Googling information, and then he was contending that it wasn't like...
Well, hold on. I want to be able to write down these.
No, you lost your ability to write anything down.
I don't write anything down.
These are simple this week.
He does.
Yeah, but
I don't cheat.
I'll write them.
Here we go.
Let's do this.
Other hands. Both hands.
not like he's having you put on an S&M outfit. They're not really humiliating to put on oven gloves.
Did you bring this from home?
Yeah, of course he did. He has a collection of gloves. All right, Andrew, let's get going. We've dicked around long enough. Let's get to it.
Number 1, after Sunday's game, Drake May has now completed as many passes to himself as he has Jalen Polk. After Sunday's game, Drake May has now completed as many passes to himself as he has Jalen Polk.
Okay.
Number 2, since Tom Brady left, the Patriots have more wins over the Bills than the Dolphins. Number 2, since Tom Brady left, the Patriots have more wins over the Bills than the Dolphins. Number 3, according to DraftKings, the Patriots have better odds of winning the AFC East than the Red Sox do right now of winning the AL East. According to DraftKings, the Patriots have better odds of winning the AFC East than the Red Sox do winning the AL East.
All right, I got it.
Oh, that's tough. Okay.
All right. I'll go first. The last one sounds like a stat just based on the math and the other teams in the AFC East that also lost. So that's perfectly plausible. I think that sounds right. The Jalen Polk thing, all you would need is 2 catches for Jalen Polk in order for that one to be a lie.
But he had I think he had less than 10 last year, and May didn't play in all the games. You had Jacoby Brissett at the start.
Jalen Polk is the lie. The Brady Bills thing, sure, why not? Sounds like a stat. I'm going number 1 lie.
Go ahead, Jonathan, with your oven mitts.
The Jalen Polk thing sounds like kind of a trickeration type of thing that Andrew likes to run. The Brady thing, I think that's true. I think that's true.
Just made that much more difficult, though.
Yeah.
You weren't able to look up Polk receptions.
Yeah. You know what?
You have them? I wrote them out for you.
Yes, I would. I'd like these, please. Thank you very much. Fred, why don't you go while I look these over?
All right. So the first one is if May.
The two-handed
The
grab
first
with
one
the
is
miss.
if May has more passes received to himself than to Polk. The second one is that since Brady left, the Patriots have beaten the Bills more than they've beaten the Dolphins.
No, then the Dolphins have beaten the Bills, right?
No. Since Tom Brady left, the Patriots have more wins over Buffalo than Miami.
Okay.
Buffalo has won the division every year since. That's
all right.
Unsaid
Thank you for writing
context.
this down. You see, otherwise.
Whoa. All right, I'm not wrong here. So wait, it's New England is beating Buffalo more times than Miami's beating
That's
Buffalo?
number 2.
Okay. And then number 3 is the DraftKings thing. All right, so I'm with Hardy. The Jets lost, Buffalo lost. So the AFC East is still in play. So we'll say that that's true.
Buffalo won. Miami lost.
Jets lost, Miami lost.
Oh, Jets lost, Miami lost. Okay.
I say number 1 is the lie. I'm with Hardy on this.
All right, I'll say number 3 is the lie.
All right. This week, unlike last week, we have a winner. Hardy and Wallach got me.
Yeah.
All right,
See,
there you
the
go.
oven mitts work for you, John.
Yeah, you couldn't outthink yourself.
The lucky mitts. So Jalen Polk caught 3 passes from Drake May last year, including a touchdown at Chicago. Drake May, of course, completed a 2-yard pass to himself on Sunday, just as long as the touchdown he threw to Polk last year. The Patriots have beaten Buffalo. These are hefty gloves.
Yeah. They are.
Yeah, I gotta bring those
Not
home.
messing around. It's like for
Yeah, that's right.
It's like a pizza oven.
Get back in that kitchen, woman. That's what you're saying right there. I understand you. I read
Patriots
you loud and clear.
have beaten Buffalo 3 times since Brady left. They've only beaten the Dolphins twice. They are 1-9 in their last 10 games against Miami, or 2-9, excuse me. 2-9 in their last 11 games against Miami. And then according to DraftKings, the Patriots are plus 750 to win the AFC East. The Red Sox, despite winning last night, again, plus 800.
Jesus.
Wow.
I think they're only three and a half games back.
No,
the
I know.
Patriots number shocks me That's just stunning to me.
That's how little week 1 ultimately means.
Yeah, and that's right. Buffalo came back in the fourth quarter.
Unless it means more.
All right.
Andrew's got 2 stats. Andrew's got 2 stats.
Yeah, all of-
but he's got 1 lie. But he's got 1 lie. Andrew's got 2 stats. Andrew's got 2 stats. But he's got 1 lie. But he's got 1 lie.
All right, so right now in week 2.
Woo!
Oh, no, it's week 1 because that was week 0 last week.
Is that right? Last week does not count.
Wait, what?
Well, he had 3 lies
started-
last week, so it did
We
count.
started last week.
We started last week.
All right, so you guys have 1 win and I have none. You guys are ahead
Correct.
of me right now.
Yeah. And this wrinkle, which I do not like, about 3 weeks throughout the season, all 3 will be lies. That already happened once last week.
Because the upside is if you call me out on that, you get 3 points.
Right. All right, there you go.
So 1-1 for Hardy and Wallach, and 0-2 start for Fred.
Yeah.
And you have 4 points.
Sure.
Well, Andrew is not in the competition.
Yeah, I think it's really more among the 3 of you.
I agree. Let's
there-
not. Hardy just wants more.
I just want more to keep.
Superiority.
I just want more scorekeeping.
Yes,
win
I
or
know.
lose.
You do enjoy the keeping
the
of
bookkeeping,
the score.
yeah.
All right, read Andrew Callahan in the Herald. He's the best. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Garrett Crochet bounced back from his worst start of the season by throwing the Athletics under a bus last night in Sacramento. He pitched 7 shutout innings. He allowed 3 hits and struck out 10. Red Sox 7, Athletics nothing. Trevor Story and Carlos Narvaez added homers. Sox are a game behind the Yankees for the top wild card spot in the American League. They'll visit the Athletics again tonight. As for the Patriots, the players have a day off today. They'll practice tomorrow. The team is 0-1 after a loss to Las Vegas on Sunday, and now Kayshon Boutte and his teammates have to get ready for a road game against Miami this weekend.
Divisional opponent, so I mean it's a big game. Go back to the team too. Obviously we know what we need to do, so I think we got 6 days to game day, so just got to lock in focus.
In other NFL news, Minnesota scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter last night. They won in Chicago 27-24. Bears are looking to move the team. Bears CEO Kevin Warren told fans in a letter yesterday the franchise intends to build a new stadium in suburban Arlington Heights. They're hoping to host a Super Bowl in 2031. And San Francisco tight end George Kittle is out 3 to 5 weeks with a hamstring injury. And Brock Purdy is questionable for this weekend with a toe problem. If he's unable to go, Mac Jones would be the starting quarterback for the 49ers. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the course or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
No matter where you go, you're always connected to Boston sports with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app. Download it wherever you get your apps today.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy. On
against the Yankees to end the season. I mean, the Red Sox could win that division.
Red Sox have 3 against the Yankees later this week, so that'll really kind of shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, so they have every opportunity to
make
win
a run
the division.
Yep.
I mean, they could win the division.
Yep, it's right there.
So, it's not a failure if they don't, but I mean, it's certainly possible. Yeah, their schedule's not. They have Toronto and the Yankees. Oh, that's right. They have the Yankees coming up. So they have Toronto and the Yankees. I mean, if they win those series, then they very well could win the division. Tampa Bay is playing well again. And then they finish against Detroit. He's going to have nothing to play for. All right. Do you think? Because I don't think they're pitching Scooble to get the first seed in the playoffs.
Yankees actually play the Tigers tonight, I think.
Okay. All right, there you go. All right, what are we doing here? I know that, Adam, you have something.
Yes, Hardy found this great list over the weekend.
List.
From the we love List, don't we, folks? From Odie
We
Henderson.
love List.
He is the Globe's film critic, and he came up with the 20 best songs from 80s movies ranked.
Oh,
so
the failing Globe, the lying Globe.
That's right, the lying fail. Well, no, they're not
With
owned
their
by
list.
the Times anymore, so they can't be lumped.
They're not owned by the New York Times anymore?
No, it hasn't been that way for years.
I subscribe to the Globe.
Yes, as do I.
Mm-hmm.
So
that
yes,
I do.
Do.
Watch the Patriots in real time? No. But the Globe I do subscribe to. All right, go ahead.
I have pulled a handful of songs. Again, this list from the Globe is called the 20 best songs from 80s movies ranked. So I'm going to just simply see if we can tap into your gray matter. I'm going to play you a clip, and you're going to have to tell me the name of the movie.
I thought John Henry owned the Times for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
No. He bought the Globe from the Times in like 2013.
Because the Globe runs Times stories from the Times. Like the Globe does run New York
they
Times
do.
stories.
And they run AP stuff. They do.
But everyone runs AP
Right.
stuff. But they run. Okay, forget it.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
Can I keep score and you get a possible of 3 points?
If they're all lies.
Artist
One of
name.
these songs isn't
artist
from an
name-
80s movie.
The song is from a 90s movie. We all get 3 points.
Artist name, song name, and movie.
Now, is this with a tongue in cheek? Or
No, this is legit. The Odie
they're
is like
like
a
good
big. He's
songs.
a big film guy, and he's a big like movie songs guy.
So it's not going to be like St. Elmo's Fire or something.
There's some hits in here. I mean, it is an homage to the decade that kind of made the movie song a hit.
Okay, but you understand where I'm coming from. It's not going to be like Repo Man's Joe Strummer soundtrack?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
There's a couple of what I think are curveballs in here, but everything's pretty much on the up and up. For instance.
Oh, that is John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band.
I saw this movie in the theater.
On the dark side.
That's correct.
Yeah, but what's the name of the movie?
Eddie and the Cruisers.
Eddie and the Cruisers is correct.
Yeah.
I think we all get 1 point.
From 1983.
I saw that in the theater, and like my parents never took me to do anything, and I saw that in the theater.
Did you ever see Eddie and the Cruisers too?
Eddie lives.
Eddie joins after he's living, in hiding in Canada. Is also the kid who testifies in The Accused.
Oh,
with Jodie Foster.
Never seen The Accused.
I got one for you. The guy who plays Mel Silver in 90210 is part of Eddie's band.
Oh, because he's a Springsteen-looking.
He's a Max Weinberg guy.
Yeah, there you go. You know, there's a new movie coming out about Springsteen doing the Nebraska album.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the guy from The Bear, and it focuses on his relationship with his father.
Okay.
It's supposed to be very good. And I don't like Bruce Springsteen, but I will see that film.
That New Jersey rock band, the Gaslight Anthem, that everybody says sounds like Springsteen. I say, no. They sound like Eddie and the Cruisers, which sounds like
Bruce.
The whole study, who I love, have a Springsteen element to them.
They do. They have an element, but
the piano.
The whole idea with this was this band was meant to sound like low rent Springsteen.
Yes,
I'm
of
saying
course.
The Gaslight Anthem sound like low rent Springsteen.
Okay.
This one's kind of a tough one, curveball. I don't know. I think Hardy's going to get this one.
Oh, I got it.
You got it? What is it, John?
I got it. It's Pat Benatar, Invincible, Legend of Billie Jean.
Wow, that's really good, John. That's really good. I didn't think anyone was going to get that one. Very impressive.
Did you like when Lisa Simpson got her period in that movie? That's all I remember from it. Is like I didn't know what a period was. The introduction to the period in my life was very a lot of PTSD. I told you I had the collection of Judy Blume books, and I finally got to the point where Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret was the only one left on the table. I was an only child. I was left alone a lot. So I did force myself to read, and it got to the part where Margaret has her period, and she's not expecting it. And I ran into my mother's room in a panic, wondering when that was going to start for me. And the same thing with The Legend of Billie Jean.
You should be so lucky.
You're baiting me to do something you hate. You're baiting me to make fun of me. You're baiting me to make fun of me.
The Legend of Billie Jean, is it like the whole genesis of it is like a stolen moped? Or like a crashed moped or something?
I've never seen the movie all the way through.
Lisa Simpson has her period on a dock.
Fair is fair. That's all I remember from that movie.
Yeah.
All right, here's a layup.
Coming to America, Rocky 4.
Rocky 3. No,
it's Rocky.
Wait, hold on. You're right. It's Rocky 4.
Yeah, you don't get that one, John.
I don't get that one. Hardy gets that one.
No, I get that one too.
Okay.
Living in America.
I had this on 45.
You know what? Fred and I both get a point. Wally gets nothing.
Hey, put those oven mitts on. No, I had that on 45.
Yeah.
I had a 45 RPM single. That's my age. And which needed the plastic to put in the middle.
Yeah, you got to put the little adapter in the middle.
Yeah,
depending on the turntable you have. Okay, Fred, let's see if you can get this one.
Oh, let's hear it for the boy.
No. Okay, I got it. I also have the artist too, which is going to be tough.
John is like killing it.
I got this one.
Is it Nucleus?
Nope.
Is this from Breakin' though?
It is.
Okay.
It is from Breakin'.
All right,
It
go
is.
ahead. I don't know.
It's the name of the artist, Ollie and Jerry.
Wow. You remember the name of the song, John?
He gets a point regardless.
Yeah.
We all know who's stopping us.
That's it. There's no stopping us.
There's no stopping us.
All right.
From the movie Breakin'.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Ollie and Jerry.
We all got Breakin'. Only Wally gets the extra 2 points for artist and title.
All right. Speed rounds.
All right. Back to the Future. Yeah.
It's number 3. I've been giving you the numbers on the list, but it's number 13 on the list.
Okay.
Back to the Future.
We all get that one, all three.
Yeah. All right, one more. This is another movie from. Feel like I have to give you a clue. This one. This one's from 19.
Won't?
No.
That's a good one. There's a little voyeuristic aspect to that one.
Yeah.
Binoculars are involved.
The Judy Blume was just completely out of boredom, which kids would never do now. They would never just
read a book.
Yeah, but and also read the book. That's the book that I was never going to read because it had the flowery cover. All right, go ahead.
All right, two more. This is another easy one, but you got to get the movie right.
Oh, this is
Rocky 3. This is
Rocky
Survivor.
3.
Eye of the Tiger.
We all got it.
Rocky 3. This is number 3 on the list.
Number 3?
I didn't give you the number 2 song because, again, it's kind of a
It's not Against All Odds.
Flash dance.
Against All Odds is the best song from a movie in the 80s. I used to walk around the park
I don't think that
pretending
one made the
that I
list.
was.
That's not on the list?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You throw this list out there.
I used to walk
He's
around.
right.
I used to walk around Canterbury Commons Park and pretend that I was. And I didn't even have a Walkman.
Against All Odds was Officer
Just in
and
my
a
head,
Gentleman, right?
pretend I was the guy that was against all odds.
Yeah. I can't remember.
I never wanted to be in the band. I always wanted to be what the song was about.
That's a very
narcissistic.
No, well, it's showing a lot about your origin story.
Yeah, this is why we do lists. It's not to get them right.
That's right.
It's to create some.
I don't want to be in a
background.
band. I want a movie made about me. I want this song playing in the background.
I like the biographies of the band a lot more than I like the band.
There you go.
I've read every dumb biography there is about an artist.
You know what? That tracks for you. You like the draft more than you like the games.
Partially a necessity, but yes, to a degree, yeah, I do. The end of the season, generally, yeah.
All right, last song, number 1 song on Odie Henderson from the Globe's top 20 songs from 80s movies ranked.
Oh my God! I think I know this one.
It's a deep pull.
Is this Beverly Hills Cop?
No, it's not. I think I know this one. Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
It's not Running Scared.
It is running scared.
Okay, it is Running.
It is
Scared.
Running Scared.
And it's not the Michael McDonald
No,
song.
that's Shine Sweet Freedom. This is different.
Running Scared's a huge embarrassment. It's
This
the
is-
80s. Does he describe this as the 80s throwing up?
Yeah.
Like Running Scared is the 80s throwing up?
This is a montage in the middle of the movie where Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal are riding around in a police car.
That's right.
And they're arresting people. I actually now know the name of the group because I actually saw them in concert. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm admitting this. And I know the name of the song.
Lay it on us.
Man Size Love. The name of the group, 12, I hope I'm right on this, Climax.
Absolutely correct, John Wallach. Just putting on a clinic.
John was full on into very
Climax.
corporate black culture in the 80s.
I saw them open up. It was Kool and the Gang, Shalimar, Midnight Star, and Climax.
You consumed everything black dudes used to get laid for no purposes.
But you know what? I had the adverse effect. It didn't work out for me. Climax with 2 X's.
So you know how Billy Squires' career was ruined by the video for "Lonely's the Night," like him dancing around.
Yes.
No, it wasn't Lonely's Night. It was a different
Oh,
song.
okay.
But yes,
Rock Me.
Rock Me.
Oh,
Yes.
all right.
Yeah,
Rock
and he had the silk
Okay.
shirt on and dancing around in the bedroom.
Well,
It was
that video
Yes.
would have made more sense for "Lonely Is the Night," but
Sure.
in the documentary about yacht rock, which isn't bad. The fall of Michael McDonald's career is blamed on the video for "Shine Sweet Freedom." Remember where it's Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines joshing around with Michael McDonald.
Yeah, and they do a little hip turn thing there.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Michael McDonald's career tanked after that. Like
Really?
it completely tanked apparently. At least that's what I recall, and I just watched it.
That's interesting.
But they do it's like a clown show. Like this is like completely made a joke of his career. Like
It didn't hurt Bobby McFerrin when he had Robin Williams and that other guy that was
the
supposed to
best
be a
mime
huge
in the
star.
world.
Yeah,
The best
Don't Worry,
mime
Be
in the world.
Happy.
It
It didn't hurt Paul Simon when he had Chevy Chase cutting up and being silly for "You Can Call Me Al."
Just vamp,
Yeah.
Chevy, just get on there and vamp. I dare you to go back. We've discussed this off the air. To that effing mime's career in that Bobby McFerrin video, that when that came out, I was a big fan of comedy. I was a little kid, and people were like, he's the best mime. He's the best. People don't get it. And I went, ooh. And I went out of my way, before the internet, to find stuff that guy did and not want to literally kill him. I felt so wronged by society when that happened. It's like he's just an effing mime. Nothing is remotely funny. Not even in its conceptualization is funny. There's nothing about him. And the idea that intellectuals were like, oh, you don't get it. What I don't get is like eyebrow raise, you prick. Like it's so funny when he falls. Like, what the hell's wrong with you?
So that's Bill Irwin.
Sacha Baron Cohen's a big mime guy too.
Yeah.
And I I think Sacha Baron Cohen is literally brilliant.
This is the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also in My Blue Heaven. And he does a funny dance in My Blue Heaven.
Yeah.
Steve Martin.
I bet you it's real funny.
It is. He's
out of nowhere.
It's funny.
I like
a funny dance.
Yeah.
And you don't get it. That's the thing that I hated.
Right.
As a little kid. You don't get it because I want to get it. I'm like, I love comedy. I loved it so much. And I'm like, I want to get it. I want to find out what's funny. And I looked at it and I went, this is what smart people think is funny? Some jackass like pulling his pants up and raising his legs?
Yeah.
But Farley sucks. You can't like both. You can't like either. You gotta like both. Like those same people would say, which I didn't even think was that funny, the Chippendales skit on Saturday Night Live where Farley just takes the shirt off. Odenkirk doesn't love the skit either, and I think he wrote it. And but they would all hate that, but love the mime. But it's the same effing thing.
Yeah.
It's physical comedy, and his is subtle, it's
is
not
he a mime
subtle.
or a clown?
Whatever
it says
is.
here, he went to Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Clown College.
Whatever it is, it's a clown mime. Whatever
Maybe
it is,
he
it's
went
terrible.
in the clown direction and decided that wasn't for him.
He was
so he took a left into the mime.
Whatever
area.
it was, he didn't talk.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It was all based on his facial expressions, which were supposed to be precious, and it was awful. Ugh. All right,
He's good. I like that guy.
Yeah. You'd love him, believe me. You'd want to take his legs out from under him so he could never mime again. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
At Boston.
No, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right, if you want to email us, you can email us. Just go to 985thesportshub.com, where millions of people are going. And millions of people, maybe not, but millions of page views. I'm not exaggerating, in the millions. So that's, I guess, encouraging for people in the great writers on that website. If you want to follow us on social media, even though we are the arcane with our knowledge of the algorithm, which the more I find out about, the more troubling it is. You can go to @TutcherandHardy and on Twitter and Instagram, Hardy's Hardy 98.5. I'm at Fred Toucher solely on Instagram, for I cannot be on Twitter because it causes me too many problems with my life. All right. So
I'm watching videos of this Bill Irwin guy, Fred, because you love him so much. He wears silly suits. And he moves his body around in a funny way. Oh, look, he's got a funny hat on there.
Like, how is that funny? Like, okay, whatever. All right. So in the beginning of the show, I was telling you that Awful Announcing had a good article about how Rodgers paints himself as a victim, and he's not. He's had everything. Everything has gone his way. He's the least victimized person. He has any platform he wants. He can talk for as long as he wants about any subject. In fact, he's in very rarefied air in terms of like exposure to the ability to just monologue with just as a guest on his show and just have no, a governor on anything you say. I mean, he's got it all. And then it got to Rogan. And I told you that, and I'm not being dismissive. By the way, this whole Rogan thing is turning, and it's over. It really is. Because after I saw this, I started researching it, and his audience is turning against him. And other people are just disinterested now. And Hardy put it best, is Rogan started as a comedian who was just like a seeker.
Yeah, he was inquisitive, and now he's an expert.
And this is generated by, I don't listen to Joe Rogan, and I don't believe you do either. There's no way you're consuming all of that actively. But he had, and I'm not being dismissive, this is how I know these people. The guy from the Goldbergs and Mad TV that he's friends with, and the MMA guy that's a terrible comedian, objectively not me, objectively a bad comedian. They're all smoking cigars. So Timus says he has a programming tip. Good morning, guys. Great show as always, but I think there is a way to make things a little cooler. Based on your opening segment discussion, have you ever considered having everyone smoke cigars while pontificating on sports and current news stories? I could definitely see that increasing your ratings in content pieces. Now, I have friends who smoke cigars, a lot of them. I'm 50 after all. But I'll tell you this, is that every time I see it on that dumb podcast when it comes up on my screen, it's such forced affectation that it drives me insane. All right. I told you that in the thing he's talking about vaccines, whatever with vaccines. I don't know anything about them. My kids are vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. I just do what I'm told. So I'm not a part of this. But he is arguing with the guy from Mad TV about vaccines, and Rogan says he's read the research. So my idea was this. You just have a guy come in with 3 research papers, and he tells them the 3 subjects. You pick, dealer's choice. You got an hour and a half to go in a room alone without a computer and read it and come back and just tell me what you just read. And then, great, you read the research. Because I made the point that I know from personal experience, I could not get a biology doctorate. Like, I couldn't do it. Even if I tried my hardest, I couldn't do it because my brain doesn't operate that way. I believe as humans, we all have different gifts on how we process information, all through our own prism. My father can look at a series of numbers on a spreadsheet and read it like a novel. But could he tell a joke? Not in a million years. So it's different things for different stuff. It says, morning, boys. You guys were talking about Rogan. I don't do research professionally, but I have a major in biology and a minor in chemistry, and I have to read and write my share of research papers. I'm editing this. I can say with great confidence that unless he was sitting down, this is about Rogan reading scientific data, reading with an expert in that particular field, that he would only even recognize half the words written. Those things are drowning in scientific jargon and obnoxiously named syndromes, chemicals, etc. To prove the point, I popped up a website hosting several million peer-reviewed studies, and the very first thing that popped up on the trending now category is titled nicotinamide mononucleotide as an anti-aging health product. Promises and safety concerns. Get the F out of here with you having read the research. Unless you specialize in the field, there's absolutely no chance in hell that even with hours or days to consume the material, you could possibly digest the information available and come up with a reasonable conclusion based on the information available. So the thing is, he's not reading a study. What he's doing is reading what a person said who read the story through their prism. And that isn't an expert. I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it. I'm sick of everyone with their expertise. Like, all you're doing is puppeting what someone else said. That's just sharing something that you read. You didn't read the research, dumbass.
When people say they're doing the research, what they mean is they listened or watched, more likely, someone do a video talking about what they think about these subjects, and that to them is considered research. No, I did my own research. I watched a video of a guy who reinforced what I already believed. Therefore, I consider doing that research.
Okay, so say I go, I'm an expert on the Kennedy assassination. Take this for an example. This is a real thing that happened. And which a lot of these people claim to be Aaron Rodgers and people like this. So how are you an expert? Well, I've read 3 books about it. Okay, well, have you gone through the original document? You're reading someone else's analysis of what happened. Now, that could be factual, and there can be facts in it, but you did not do what they did. They are the expert. You are not. You are reading someone else's thing, so you can be an enthusiast and someone who is well-informed on it. And that's something as basic as this isn't even the science thing is such BS that get out of here with that. He doesn't understand any of that. He's a comedian, not a chemist. But I'm telling you that everyone with these experts, even if you've done a lot of, like, I have read books on Tom Petty. I don't know anything about him other than what I read. I never talked to him. I don't know him. The guy who knows him is the expert.
Right. Reading a book by someone who is an expert doesn't also make you an expert.
Yeah, like, they are, not me. I just read what they said.
I have a lot of Wallach emails here. Seen Wallach wearing what appear to be falconry gloves during 2 stats in a line made my morning. Thanks, boys. Dave in North Carolina.
Yeah, so Nick in the video have an eagle land on his glove, if you could. That was
Wallach
my
was
idea.
forced to wear oven mitts during 2 stats in a line because he was caught looking things up last week, weren't you? So Dave emailed in. Not for nothing, but cheating during 2 stats and a lie is the work of an effing sociopath. It's really abnormal behavior. And then in a bird voice, Scampy.
Is that a chickadee?
Yeah.
If you recall when Hardy asked Wallach what he was into besides sports, he froze and then said, "Do you like to eat?" And he said yes. And then so he became a foodie, and he said he liked shrimp scampi. I'll tell you what, to the degree that he cheated is funny because I just gave up today. I couldn't understand the second question for the life of me. I told you guys off the air.
You had it right, and then you talked yourself into it wrong.
I was just like, sure, 3. I'm like, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I can't, let alone cheat. I couldn't even cheat it. I didn't understand the question.
I had it wrong at first, and then
and I did the opposite. I had it right and then got it wrong.
Yeah.
Another Wallach email here, because John and I both got the 2 stats and a lie right. The quiz that we just did on songs from 80s movies, John killed us. The final tally was 25 for Wallach, 18 for Fred, 17 for me. So, I mean, it was an absolute beatdown. John, no H, has a really awesome memory for a bird, yet he still forgets that glass windows and doors exist and still flies into them occasionally. Kind of concerning.
And what's funny is you are an enthusiast of that era of music and movies, and you are an enthusiast.
84 was the best year for movies ever.
So you do have outside interest. You just froze when confronted with something that you could have said.
I do. I watch a lot of 80s. I still listen to a lot of 80s music and watch a lot of 80s
Which
movies.
is as valid as anything else.
Yes.
He's got a point, man. Movies of 1984. I'm just
just read some of them. They're incredible.
Beverly Hills Cop, The Karate Kid, Amadeus, which is
I've never seen.
It's fantastic.
I gotta see
it is good.
I like that guy.
Ghostbusters, The Terminator, A Nightmare on
Never
Elm
saw
Street.
Terminator. I've never seen.
You know
it.
what? It's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I think I'll die without
But
seeing
84
it.
is the best movie.
A Nightmare on Elm Street, Gremlins, Police Academy, The Natural, Footloose, Romancing the Stone, 16 Candles, Splash, Purple Rain.
What's the best movie out of all of those?
I mean, Amadeus is kind of.
See, I haven't
that's
seen
like
it.
a different level. That's like, I
okay.
thought like
that one. I know that like swept the Oscars.
yeah,
and that guy never. Became
I mean,
it.
Ghostbusters is maybe the best comedy, the top 5 comedy of all time.
See, I don't think it's funny. I don't think Ghostbusters. I think Ghostbusters is a good movie.
I think it's great.
I don't think it's
Eddie
funny.
Murphy was apparently supposed to be in that, but he was
Yes.
shooting Beverly Hills Cop at the same time.
He was supposed
so
to
had
do the
turn it
Bill
down.
Murray role, and they didn't know Bill Murray was going to show up until he showed up.
So yeah, but he had to turn it down because he was shooting
Yes.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Romancing the Stone is never on. You'd think it would be. Jean Wilder? Jean Wilder?
The best movie out of that is
What's the
16
T stand
Candles.
for? Trustworthy.
16 Candles is the best movie out of all of those, in my opinion.
We got a break, but I
Yeah.
wanted to circle back around to the beginning topic and
No.
because I agree with you.
We have
Fred.
to break, but you want to go back to
Yes, of
something from
course.
before.
Yes, of course. But because
You realize
yeah, I know
how
exactly.
self-indulgent
Yes,
that is.
I do.
How dare you ever accuse me of going over?
I do.
Go ahead.
So I think the point you made is a salient one, and I think we need to lead by example. And perhaps in the post-show meeting, we pull some peer-reviewed research and have Nicholas share it with the audience for a segment tomorrow. Just a thought.
Yeah,
something that we
that's
could do.
funny, but it almost is like, look, Nick can't read it, and the thing is that we can't read it.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of the point.
Poor Nick. Impaired.
That's what I was saying is that the bit would be Nick reading something elementary poorly. If he reads a scientific journal, it's just going to be stuff that none of us could read. Right. I couldn't even read the title of what the kid pulled up, and of course I think of him as a kid because now everyone's a child. As I face my mortality. All right, here we go. We'll be back. And you guys are older than me. Hachi Machi. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox got 7 innings from Garrett Crochet. They began a 3-game series in Sacramento with a 7-0 win over the Athletics. Crochet allowed 3 hits and struck out 10. Didn't give up a run. Trevor Story and Carlos Narvaez backed him with homers. Sox are a game behind the Yankees for the American League's top wild card spot. They'll pitch Dustin May against the Athletics tonight. Patriots visit Miami this Sunday after losing their regular season opener Sunday. The team will be back at practice tomorrow. J.J. McCarthy, 2 touchdown passes and a TD run in the fourth quarter. Minnesota rallied for a 27-24 Monday night win in Chicago. And San Francisco tight end George Kittle is out 3 to 5 weeks with a hamstring injury. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the DeMore McKim School of Business at Northeastern University, where MBA and master's degree students build vital business skills through expertise. Connect at northeastern.edu/business. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 10 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Big day is coming up.
The Hardy's ball game. What do you got going, my friend?
Big thefts going on at Faneuil Hall. At a certain store where shoplifters have taken $18,000 in merchandise. Now, I don't know the last time you went to Faneuil Hall in the Quincy Market there.
I've been. I haven't been in a long time.
7 times shoplifters have hit a certain store and made off with $18,000 in merchandise. It is not an apparel store, but an accessories store. Now, what type of store would you find at Faneuil Hall where thieves could make off with $18,000 in merch over the course of 7 shoplifting trips? Again, something small enough to shoplift.
It's a jewelry store, I would imagine.
No, but accessories.
Oh, interesting. Accessories that are...
shopliftable.
Yeah.
And expensive.
And would be out to be taken.
Yes.
Okay. So you would be able to pocket them. Jewelry was a bad guess because it's under glass. I'm befuddled. I'm intrigued. I do not know the answer.
These stores are still around everywhere. Malls, airports. Airports, you can always find these places.
Okay.
Hotels, too, sometimes. Especially warm weather hotels. You'll always find one of these stores in warm weather destinations.
Bathing suits?
Oh,
No.
Jesus Christ. I really can't think
when
of
he
it.
first started talking about that, I'm thinking like Labubu or something like that. But
Like knickknacks? Like souvenir stores?
Nope. Sunglass Hut.
Oh.
Okay.
$18,000 in merch. The stores had shoplifting incidents with the same suspects between June 7th and August 25th. The suspects stole 40 pair of sunglasses.
Who goes to Sunglass Hut anymore?
I don't know.
Well, these shoplifters.
Well, I'm thinking now the store's kind of happy that people actually are showing up for some reason.
So what you have to have is a pair of sunglasses that you keep in the car, and then a lesser expensive pair of sunglasses in the house in a pinch, or else you will lose your sunglasses. Yeah. That is my advice to everyone.
Yeah.
And if you go on vacation with your children, don't bring the good sunglasses. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. All right. A song has achieved the 1 billion stream mark. Now, this has been done before, but this is by a band that you'll know by the sound of it. Fred, you will. Wallach, you might. See if you can name them. I think Slipknot is really sneaky good at writing 3-minute pop rock songs.
I wish that they didn't have that whole clown thing, because it would have made it, but they wouldn't have been as famous.
The show, I mean, I saw them 2 or 3 times. It was a freaking phenomenal show. It's really fun for, like most shows, I feel, 30 or 40 minutes, and then you leave.
Yeah.
They kind of do their thing, and you're like, wow, that was really fun. I don't need to watch 90 minutes of it. I don't even need to watch an hour. But a half an hour at a Slipknot show, I can think of a lot worse ways to spend some time.
Did you get scared after a few minutes, though, with those masks?
Well,
No,
that's the
but
thing. Are they really supposed to scare you? Because that was Marilyn Manson.
Yes.
Because I had to go to Marilyn Manson. I told you the time I interviewed him, and he was like in a lair, and and like he was, and I'm like, all right, dude, and like his concerts always were funny to me because he's a huge dork.
Yeah.
And he's a huge dork. I mean, look at his pictures from high school, and he's like physically completely non-threatening. I don't believe he'd shoot me. And so this whole notion of him being like this scary in a way like that was like Satan-y, like he had like spells, I always thought was funny. Like there was this one part of the show where he's behind a pulpit because he's like taking on religion. And then religious people would get mad as if it was like somehow affecting things. And he goes, whoosh. And he goes way like up in the air and he's like, ah. And I always thought that was so funny. Like, what am I supposed to like be frightened of you, you effing dork? Like, John Five's your guitarist. He loves Kiss.
Let me rip off Alice Cooper, but do nothing of the cool stuff that Alice Cooper ever
But
did.
Alice Cooper was incredibly tongue-in-cheek, and they were actively
right.
I mean, this if you ever that Mensch movie about his agent, the lengths they went through to get publicity was fantastic, and I wanted to show with this story. So you know the story of a band literally couldn't even get arrested, Alice Cooper band's playing. They go, we're going to do a show at the Whiskey or something in Los Angeles, and you're going to put on see-through suits, and you're going to get arrested because you're going to be naked. And they're like, okay, we'll do it. We'll get arrested tonight. They go up on stage. It's like 90 degrees in the venue. The suits all steam up. They're not naked. They literally couldn't get arrested. They actively were trying to get arrested for obscenity and couldn't do it.